like you plotting.
I've been called various amounts of evil and vindictive on so many YouTube platforms. Man, I got to just get out of that state. I don't think of
Boy.
myself as a good or bad guy. I like to think of myself as a teacher. So
I'm in
Okay.
a Ray Jordan phase right now. Top tier heel.
Uh, what a cold open. All right. Yo, welcome everybody back to Vanity Sports Takedown Podcast. This is episode 6. Today we're going to be talking about a lot of Wrestledream. We got NXT reactions for y'all, Bryan Danielson stuff. You know, we got Raw SmackDown, of course. Some New Japan stuff today. You know, we don't always talk about them, but we let show them love when we can. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment. You know, we will be shouting you out if you're in the comments. We really appreciate all of y'all pulling through. So let's get, without further ado, let's get this started. All right. So first off, we did watch it last week, you know, because it does happen on Tuesdays. We do go live on Tuesdays, but we didn't talk about it last podcast. So we are going to talk about it this one. Last week we had the NXT CW episode 2 pretty much in St. Louis. And in my opinion, much better show than the first one, than the Chicago one. Much better show. We had a lot of big changes. We had some debuts. But let's get everybody's reactions on it. If you want to go match by match, if you want to just talk about your overall feelings about it, let's get into it.
I go first because I kind of peeped at it and then I was kind of nodding off like a little bit in between. And it was definitely a better show than the Chicago show. Although I thought the Chicago show had some pull because they had CM Punk there and he did a referee the match. But it was a decent show. They had Randy Orton. I don't know where Sexy Red came from. Be honest with you, bro. Like that was a little. I think Shawn Michaels clearly has a fetish.
I think she's from St. Louis. That's why.
Yeah,
She's from St. Louis too.
Yeah, she is. But just like the second time that she's been on WWE TV, I think Shawn Michaels has a fetish, and I think he has a problem still. He needs to address that problem.
I don't think it's a problem.
I don't know. I know. Well, I wouldn't say it was a problem. Well, not a problem in terms of business, but it's a problem in terms of him. Yeah, I think Shawn Michaels. There's a difference between how Shawn Michaels books and how Triple H books. It's clearly a difference.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels books better for sure.
Yeah, we can say that. I mean, Shawn Michaels could get carried away a little bit, but definitely, I would definitely say Shawn is definitely on point a little bit more with booking, but he could definitely get carried away. But it seemed like a great overall show, man. Oba was my guy. If I'm not mistaken, he won that match.
No, he did not.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't win that
match. Well, listen. Well,
did he win that match?
No, he didn't.
What was I thinking?
Nah,
what was I?
Hey, NXT posted a video with Tony D'Angelo getting out of his SUV with the championship. So yeah, he did not win that match.
Not win that match.
Oh wow!
I wanted to quickly shout out GoCast Hoops for pulling through. We appreciate.
So that means Oba. So they're trying to put the NXT title on Oba. What they trying?
Yeah, I think that's the next step with him.
I think he's gonna be off screen for a little bit though.
Okay. Because Oba was like 200 something days with that title, if I'm not mistaken.
He is the new record holder for the North American Championship.
Yeah. Okay.
awesome, right?
He broke it like by 1 day or something. Like something
he broke
crazy.
1 day. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he barely broke it, but he broke it. You know, that's what matters.
But other than that, it was a good show. I liked the show, even though I fell asleep on it. See, that's how you tell I fell asleep on it. I don't remember who won the damn match. So I'm like, oh man, I fell asleep.
I could sleep with Tony D'Angelo finally doing the unthinkable, something I called for last week. Just wanting to see him. Like, this is how you propel someone. You give them a big win. They were telling the story just right. When Tony started doubting himself, and then he, you mess with his boys, and next thing you know, bada boom, bada bing, become new North American champion, and very excited for that. And I'm happy that they pulled that trigger. And maybe Oba stays in NXT, but maybe he's destined for bigger things sooner rather than later. Who knows what they're deciding to do or when. I guess the draft is probably not until
after WrestleMania. Yeah.
So he probably has some more time unless he just gives a straight call up. But I like the show. One of my like, aesthetic issues was like I love like when you watch the debut. I think they were in Allstate Arena. I think or whatever. I think they were in Allstate Arena, and it's huge. It looked good. It made NXT look huge, a big thing. It wasn't terrible. Like it was packed out. I really like what they did with the smaller space, especially with the like entrance way. I thought that was cool. It gave me like the old school Ring of Honor vibes, just kind of with the crowd like right there, where you can kind of just dap up people. Like, I thought that was cool. Jade's entrance is just $1 million. But man, I knew that Evans was going to try to do a crazy ass move to get it into an RKO, but he just rotated way too much, dude. Rotated way too much, and you saw it visibly where he was apologizing as soon as the match was over. Like, yo, I'm so sorry I messed up my big moment. Like, which, like, you hate to see it because they had a decent match. Like, it was fine. It was a cool opportunity for him, but all in all, though, NXT is getting that rhythm again. Now we're on the CW. I don't know. Is tonight? They're not anywhere. Are they back in the Performance Center tonight?
They're back in the renovated Performance Center. Yes.
So I'm excited.
We're getting a new look for the Performance Center.
Mm-hmm.
So
I hope it's similar to that St. Louis look. That was a good look.
I liked it, but it's just like it's the contrast going from like Allstate, a big ass arena, to that like week one.
Yeah.
That was my only small gripe, but other than that, like NXT, I mean, that was a big two big title changes in the first couple weeks. We're building something really interested to see. Stephanie Vacure, once she or Vacure, I don't know how they say her last name. I hear it so many different ways, but once she starts getting into the fold, and Roxanne with Jade, were just like. It was weird because like I can't get over her coming back because it was like Cora Jade.
Me neither. Oh man,
Cora Jade and Nikita Lyons.
That was like one of the most lukewarm comebacks like ever. Like I just seen it. It was just like, really? I'm like, oh, okay, man. Like, is it me or it seemed like all of the women heel turns are the same?
Well, it wasn't really a heel turn. She's been a heel.
I mean, well, I'm not talking about Court Jade. I don't know why I just navigated to like heel turns for women, but it seems like all of the women heel turns are the same.
NXT has this weird thing where no one's like really a heel. So it's kind of hard to make people heels unless you like actively turn them against a super baby face. Like even Cora Jade is pretty well liked by most people, and like when you go to like the shows or you hear them talk, they like her. They don't dislike her.
They like her.
Yeah,
more of like a microcosm.
And now the IG followers are starting to like her as well, and the Twitter. I'm like, listen, I see what y'all see, and I see what y'all see in Cora Jade. I didn't see it before, man, but I definitely see it now. But I
know why you didn't see it before.
No. The reason why I didn't see it before because it seemed like before her heel turn, if she would seem like girly, like ish, like she seemed like this little teeny tiny little girl. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, I mean, like when Roxanne probably was too when she first took the title off of whatchamacallit, but they kind of just allowed them to put more themselves into their character, as they went along. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm seeing Cora Jade now, she's kind of punk rockish, but I mean, she's always been a cutie, man. Now she like she just like a little. She just got a little bit like baddie to it now. I'm just like, all right, okay.
She stand out for obvious reasons.
She definitely stand out for obvious reasons. But listen.
Did she have to take off the jacket though? Did she have to take off the jacket?
I said the same thing.
That shit was just like OD. It was like okay.
I'm not looking at her the way that I'm looking at Jada Park and whatchamacallit. I'm not looking at her the same way, obviously.
I feel like the hype for Cora Jade isn't Cora Jade hype. It's the hype of the reunion of the Roxanne Cora Jade tag team.
Right.
which is something people have wanted for a long time. Whether it was Roxanne going heel or Cora Jade turning face, and now through happenstance, I don't really feel like Roxanne was supposed to turn heel in the beginning of all this. We've kind of got this, so that's the excitement part. Not Cora Jade as a singles person. I wonder if they'll bring back the NXT Tag Team Championships at this point, the Women's Tag Team Championships.
I don't think he should.
I think when it comes to NXT, they're about to have such an influx of talent in like a couple months to the point where you probably should.
Well, with the titles that can go all three brands, I think it's just you could get an NXT, like if you build up an NXT women's tag team to beat Jade and Bianca, or maybe have like a a transitional champion that beats Jade and Bianca on some like crazy roll. Which I mean they're kind of pushing Jada Parker and what's her tag? I'm sure
Lola Vice.
No, is it? No, they were on SmackDown this past week. Not it was.
Oh,
You talking about Lash and
Lash
Jakara?
Legend.
Lash and Jakara.
Yeah. So like I mean they could be kind of like that transitional champion to get a big win, and they kind of bring it back to more NXT to where because I think NXT has a more influx of women's tag teams, and they can kind of really use that, but they also give an opportunity for them to kind of go across brands to give them that soft the soft launch of these people.
I feel like it's one of those things where, unfortunately, the next time Bianca and Jade lose tag team wise, like those championships, they're probably turning on each other. I don't see them losing until they turn.
I can see shortly after.
You know what, Elijah? I gotta agree with you, bro. Like this is heading in the direction of like we lose, we turn it. We not losing, then we splitting them and going our separate ways. We lose, we turn it. We gotta make something.
They've never been pinned.
Yeah,
never.
They've never been pinned. I feel like as soon as they get pinned, that's when the turn's happening because they've never been pinned.
Yes.
Yeah.
Daniel Berry Sports, man, what's going on, bro?
It's definitely going to line up to what they're trying to do because, like, I mean, we're really inching close to needing them in the singles division really soon. But then it's like I don't know if you can right away because of like then they're going to feud with each other and then. I guess we're trying to build up Naomi right now, but then Naomi got that thing lingering with Bayley. So then it's like, who's going to be? I mean, I guess Tiffy and Nia. I don't know. I guess there is stuff for like but you know what I mean. I feel like we're kind of been hammering these. I guess we're not really there yet. We're not there. I'm tripping, but I guess because I'm thinking so far ahead, it's like okay, I've seen this. Okay, so but I like to see like. 4 people like come up to like okay cool like I see that next like because I'm starting to get over with this like Andrade and Carmelo Hayes stuff where it's like okay we had 7 matches like cool best I get it the game 7 Melo better not miss like cool but then it's like all right what else is next like who's on the 4 like I want to see people like that's like you could see like okay I can see that next
for the US champ. That's interesting actually. I don't know who's next in the US. I'm guessing they're gonna do that triple threat with Andrade, Carmelo. And then after that, AJ Styles.
Yeah, well, that's true. They did impose him, but then it's like
is that a real injury or is that part of the shoot?
I think it's exaggerated. I think it's a real injury that's exaggerated.
Yeah.
Because
they never really this open about talking about. Well, they're kind of being a little bit more different now with like making it sport based, but they're talking really hyping up the Liz Frank and.
I feel like AJ Styles is kind of getting written off a bit, bro, and I don't think that needs to be happening.
He just got here. He just got back.
He just got back, but it seemed like people forgot that about some of his runs ever since he came on 2016 in the WWE. The last 8 years, I thought he had some pretty damn good matches, and I don't think he's really been as highly validated in like a main event stay as much since this decade has started. Man. Like in the first couple of years, definitely. In the last 4,
he's one of those legends now where you kind of put him on a match because he's got the name.
Right.
Unfortunately, he's still very good. No one's saying he's not good, but like he's just like 50. So you don't really want to put a title on a 50-year-old where you can put it on a younger guy. You know what I mean? You got to build your new guys, your new faces of the company. Otherwise, you
just stop. Well, yeah. To be technical, he's 47. But I mean, I get what you're saying.
47, yeah. But
47, and he made his debut in WWE at what 39.
Yeah. Like I hope in like
the fact that he had a couple of WWE title runs, bro, is kind of crazy to me. Like
he
like
had some
in his
great
40s.
ones.
Yeah, he
was
good
the
ones.
tag team champion for a while, US champion.
Didn't John Cena won his won number 16 off of him, right?
I think so.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
John Cena won number 16 off of him.
But like I hope they're not putting the title on Cody Rhodes in 10 years if he's still there. 9 years if he's still there. Same way. Yeah, like I hope not.
Georgia.
Please don't. Yeah, like I think when you get old, like I hope they're not putting the title on Gunther in 10 years. Fuck.
I hope so. Gunther,
No.
He can do that. You can have a banger of a Gunther match in 10 years because all he's gonna do is just slap the shit out of people even more. And it's gonna be
you can have banger AJ Styles matches right now. We had one on Payback. Or
but
Payback. Backlash.
Like he knows like even some stuff he's doing now is like I probably shouldn't have done that. Versus Gunther's gonna keep 2 feet on the ground. He's not gonna do that high flying splash that looks ugly as hell. He's just gonna slap the shit out of somebody, hit him with a power bomb, and go home.
You don't think he's gonna do that flying drop kick anymore?
Okay, so my thing is that it has to happen now. Gunther is the same age as me, around the same age as me, and a title push in a like a real legitimate title run, world championship title run has to happen now. As opposed to if y'all gonna bring if simultaneously if y'all gonna hold Gunther up and then y'all kind of or bringing up Braun at the same time, it's kind of got to be somewhat like this, but somewhere down the line it's got to come to this. You know what I'm saying? It's got like that triple bound, that beam has to come where Braun. If you're making Braun your mainstay as champion, it better be early. It better be more earlier than not. So The Rock became champion in his 20s. Triple H became champion in the late 20s.
I think the thing with Braun and NXT as a whole at this point is WWE's getting their solidified stars so young. Braun Breaker could deadass retire for 5 years, come back, and still be within a good timeline to be a champion.
He wouldn't even be in his prime.
Yeah, he'll be fine. You have so much time with these younger guys now because you're not just signing like ex-football players that are 33 anymore. You're not signing ex-bodybuilders, like guys that have just had.
Do you really have that much time with them? Like with
yes,
like the show. I mean, because the reason why I asked is because the shows and the injuries and all of those things are locked in. You know, like the days on the road that you're there and all of that stuff. All of those things count. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that these guys are injury prone, just that and the third, but you gotta lock in your young guys like right when they starting to hit that wave of like where Braun Breaker's hitting.
I want you to remember Rhea Ripley. When Rhea Ripley first debuted, she was already a champion. She was the NXT champion. She was at WrestleMania with her championship. Like almost immediately won another championship. What tag team championships wasn't over the way she's over now. She didn't like get over the way she was until she was 27, but she debuted at like 24. That's how much time it took for her to like become the Rhea Ripley.
She debuted on the main roster at 24, but she debuted at NXT
at like 21.
21, yeah.
Yeah, she was young. They're getting these guys so young, like straight out of college at this point.
Yeah.
To the point where they're like 22 learning how to wrestle.
Initiative. I mean, they're recruiting out of high school. I mean, they're giving them NIL deals to that's what they did with that's what they're doing with Jacob Henry, Mark Henry's son, who is about to play
Javon Evans right now.
Yeah, John. So it's like if they fizzle out quick, especially if they like happen, I say get an injury, but like they like, you know what? This football shit or this wrestling shit or this volleyball shit ain't for me. I'm done with school right now. Well, I got a bag. I got to at least do a tryout for wrestling and see if they can get that itch, because they want the newer, younger people so that way you can monopolize on these guys for 20 years. And the thing is, the wrestling prime is 35. So if you start at like 22, 23, that's about 10 years in until you realize I understand the psychology, how to do everything. I get it. Like everything's slowing down for me to how now I can push, the envelope, storytelling wise, not just
Hold on,
also
y'all. I'll be back.
do everything.
I'll be right back.
I think I think you're right. I think the wrestling prime could be 35, around 34, 35, around that range. I would say a little bit early in the 30s, maybe like 31, 32. It depends on how long you was in there, you know what I'm saying? Because people go to wrestling school and then they 20s, they might not be on like a main roster or a main conglomerate like the WWE, like one of those. But they start to come along at certain points of their career. The thing is that when it comes to the main roster on the world championship picture side, you have to get somebody that's going to that's going to have that youth and going to have that experience and going to be able to brand out more, as the title reign and as the years is going on. I think Roman Reigns figured that out over the years, and with his 4-year run. I think you started to see it with a lot of other stars that also had their runs, whether it was in their 30s or whatever, how old they was and all of that. So, was a Stone Cold older when he really took over? Yeah, the Stone Cold was about 30. He was about a little bit over 30, maybe 33.
You don't
32,
even
33.
gotta go that far back. Damian Priest just took off, and he's like, what, 40?
And he started super late and got signed. Well, he got signed. He started super late and got signed to WWE really late, similar to a Dallas DDP, and which is it's I would say it's like the recommended path, but it's not impossible. But like now with I think they are more willing to sign older people. But I think the initiative is to go younger guys, especially to develop. But again, like they went to stunning Steve Austin, like. You have to kind of go through it. Went through ECW, like trying to figure out what's your character, who you are. You have to go through iterations of yourself, and then you can be like, oh, like then I'm a straight gold. Stone Cold Steve Austin said, "I just whipped your ass." Like you know what I mean? Like
I feel like Braun Breaker, like in terms of the age trajectory, is probably the only anomaly right now because there's very few in history that is doing what he's trying to do. Like what Brock Lesnar was 25 when he got the belt, like when it was 24, 25. Randy Orton was 24 when he got the world title. The Rock was about 26, 27 when he got the championship. When Undertaker first won the title in 91, he was about 25, 26. I mean, but the thing is the trajectory of how the roster is shaped right now. You got to ask yourself how many 20-year-olds are having that have that factor that Braun Breaker has. It's not that many.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot by name, or is it? I'm talking about in the world championship. In the world,
who will be there in their 20s? Who will be in there in their 20s? Obafemi will be in there in his 20s. Trick Williams will be in there in his 20s. Carmelo Hayes will be in there in his 20s.
I give you Oba.
All three of them will be in there in the 20s because that's saying that they'd have to get it within like 3 years. Will they be in that championship within 3 years? Yes.
The reason I'll give you Oba because there's something.
Carmelo Hayes, no, he's 30.
Carmelo Hayes is up there. Trick Williams.
I think he's 27. He's 30. He's 30.
Trick Williams is 30. Yeah, so Oba is probably the only one that I could get.
Is Oba in his 20s?
Oba's
20. Oba's 26.
He's 20.
He's 22?
26.
Oh,
Oba's 26.
That man look like 35 to be honest.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Listen, hey, grown men and boys' bodies, whatever you want to hell call it. I don't know. But Oba's 26 and Braun Breaker's 26. And Braun Breaker's already on the main roster and already had a belt. And already had the Intercontinental title. So
as soon as Oba goes to the main roster, he's gonna win either the IC or US championship.
It depends on how Oba is booked, bro. Like because I see them booking him kind of like the way that they book him on NXT is probably not the same way that they're gonna book him on WWE.
No, they won't. They won't book him the same way. He'll take losses way faster than he took a loss in NXT. But he's gonna come onto that main. Like you saw how Gunther came onto the main roster in his first show. He won the Intercontinental title off Ricochet. Whoever's the holder of whoever holds that US or Intercontinental title at that time is losing to Obafemi as soon as he makes his debut.
I think that would be good to help, especially kind of catapult him. As long like if they give him like it depends on like I think they should definitely do that if they give him an NXT title run to kind of give him another like 6 months of just keep staying consistent with this mic work and like big time matches, because especially he's going to get pushed to that once he gets to the main roster, especially doing more house shows and getting those reps in. Yeah, like I think he has to be like you have to push him to the stars, or you could kind of put him in a tag team that's dominant, but as long as he's like not taking losses early or just as a heater for a while, like he can come in as a heater, be dominant, do a couple squash matches, really run it up, beat like a Carmelo, or I don't even know who else is like. I mean, one of the
I think by the time he comes up, Trick will be up there as well. I think that's going to be his first win. Honestly, I think Trick is going to have a title and he's going to take it off of him.
I'm inclined to agree with that. However, I gotta see it. I gotta see it before I believe it. I don't know how they're gonna push.
We're booking years in advance at this point.
Yeah,
we're so far down the road.
Yeah. Do you think they'll give Carmelo
I'm not gonna
the
lie
title?
to y'all, bro. I haven't played a wrestling game in years, but the Bray Wyatt 2K24 cover, I ain't gonna lie, that shit looks godly. It looks very, very godly.
25 or 24?
24.
Do you think they'll give Carmelo the title? Not right now.
I don't think so.
Not right now.
I don't think they'll ever give Carmelo the title.
Nah, not with the role LA Knights on. Nah, they ain't not. He ain't dropping that belt anytime soon.
They're gonna give Carmelo the title. They're booking him very similar to how they're booking Tiffany Stratton in the way that like you can tell that even though they're taking losses at times, they're kind of on the cusp of a title. You can really see it. You could because they gave him that first round pick in the draft, letting him bank off that like he's a highly sought out prospect. They're giving him wins over big guys. I think his first win was over Randy Orton, on the roster. Immediately gave him a match with Cody Rhodes as soon as he got drafted. They're booking him as like this is our future guy. He's not getting that basic push that Cameron Grimes push. Okay, he's not getting that.
Cameron Grimes.
The Cameron Grimes push was crazy. That was so bad. I hated his character. I'm so sorry. I think it only worked.
Funny though, he just he just does dumb shit. I think sometimes he just he could be like a cool character, but I get it.
Maybe he needed more vignettes and stuff because he didn't get that. He just only had matches.
Yeah. I don't know what Carmelo is like. I love Carmelo. Carmelo is money to me. He's Timothy. But it's like I don't know. I just think the main roster effect might. I know this is a new generation, but I don't know. Like when you see, especially if Andrade starts heating up, right? Which we'll see. I don't know. I just need Andrade as a main world title holder because he's bulked up so much. He's just like the perfect combination of everything. And so it's he just looks so small, but he also looks different. He could be like, I'm not saying he'd be like the new generation Rey Mysterio, but just like that person that can stand out. But then it's all of a sudden you bring up Oba and then you bring up Trick. I feel like Trick could easily just outshine Carmelo.
He will. I think Trick is going to be the main guy.
And so it's just that's what I'm like, man, he has to get pushed. Obviously, they're pushing him pretty decently now, but then it's is that going to go over well to where it's okay, it's sustained? Because I want LA Knight to have a little bit more of a run, but with some more people. But then it just seems to be just that 3-person tango he's going through right now. And then I guess you could add AJ in there too.
You got to think about this for Melo. I think his biggest claim to fame, what's going to get him to that main event, is that he's Trick's biggest rival. If you need a Trick Williams story, Carmelo Hayes will always be there. And that's going to be I think they're going to go to that a lot in the coming years.
But that's a crutch though, don't you think?
It's not a crutch. It's the same way that they love going to Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. They love going to John Cena and Randy Orton because they came up at the exact same time. They came up together from OVW. They love going to guys when they have history together They just lean on that. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. They've gone to that a couple times now.
But
That's just what they do.
like,
Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. They've gone to that 4 times now.
yeah, but they OD. Like you said, but it's like you do. There's like there's moments you can do it to give it the shot. Lower card, middle card, and one main event, and then like whenever they're just not doing anything. But then it's like, okay, let's make these, like, obviously, like, like Sheamus and like Drew McIntyre were just beating the shit out of each other. But it was just like, oh, I just need you to stay idle over here while before we push. We're just gonna push Drew. Like, and if we're pushing Drew, and then Sheamus is just having bangers after bangers with and so it's like, okay, has that really been beneficial for both? I mean, you can say that Sheamus is looking the best he's had in a really long time.
I mean, we got that Sheamus Gunther Drew match because of that. Because of their history.
Which was good, which was great. But then it's like I know
everybody reminds us this HBK, bro. It's nothing but HBK replicas all over the place in wrestling.
I think Carmelo Hayes is different. He's like modern day HBK in a way that, like,
I mean,
he doesn't directly copy him like how Dolph Ziggler was.
Yeah, I know, I understand that, but at the same time, I feel like even when people don't try to copy HBK, they copy an HBK in a way that's a lot. It's a lot more innovation, but I mean, HBK, everything that he does now, if you're looking at a lot of HBK matches today, everything looks standard, but there's something in those matches that you see from HBK back in the 90s that you see from a lot of the NXT talent and the talent that's been since NXT in the past 10 odd years, bro. Like, you've seen something for that resembles HBK out of each one of those rosters year after year. And then you go on to the WWE, and then they get called up and they still resemble that. So really, HBK Shawn Michaels wasn't lying when he said in 1994 that match with him and Diesel, they was giving you the Attitude Era 3 years before it happened. So, like, realistically, Shawn Michaels was doing it. He was doing the Attitude Era, like, years before they called it that. Like, so, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, Shawn was just ahead of his time, man. Like, there's nothing. I mean, Undertaker's my guy, man, but Shawn was just ahead of his time. Looking back on it now, Shawn was just way ahead of his time. You can plug that version of Shawn Michaels into anything that NXT is doing now.
Yeah, Stars Translate. Yeah. I think it's okay to take from other people as long as you make it your own thing. Like, I think Roman Reigns takes heavily from Triple H, heavily in his heel character. The way that he moves, the way he manipulates, the way he holds the championship, the paranoia specifically. Very Triple H. Very Triple H. But he makes it his own thing in a way that, like, he's the modern day Triple H. He's not taken from it so precisely that you're like, oh, this is 1-to-1. But he's the modern day Triple H.
I wasn't thinking Triple H with him. I
really
wasn't.
In terms of the way he's like, I'm running the company. This is my company, my title.
Okay. All right.
Paranoia that's there, the manipulation.
Okay,
all right. That's Triple H.
I mean, like, there's a little bit of Triple H in there, but the rest of that, like, that's kind of him. When I watched that documentary, I watched that WWE Legends documentary, and Jimmy and Jay was going through it. They was like, yo, he's kind of like the character that he was when after 2020. That's kind of how he always been when we was growing up. He would be like, yo, you don't want that pizza, right? You don't want that, man. You don't want that shit. Come on, you just ate, man. You don't want that pizza. It's like, and that's I think that's kind of him, just just playing out like that character now, like in real life. Like when he says, I don't like where we at right now. I'm like, that's him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. It's a little bit of Triple H in there when he had the title. I get what you're saying, Elijah, but most of what you're seeing now, that's Roman. That's pretty much wrong.
I think you take the influences of the past guys and you make it your own.
Yeah,
I think that's what Carmelo Hayes has done to a very
well. In character sense, you could take something from anybody, like or like not even from wrestling. Like, I've always envisioned how my wrestling character would be. You know what I'm saying? like kind of how I started the show, but I mean, but realistically, it's all about how you evolve into it, man. You know what I'm saying? You could cut a promo on a YouTube page. You can cut a promo anywhere, man. So it's all one in one.
Let's get everybody's final thoughts on the NXT show, and then we'll move on over to Wrestledream. The big topic of the day.
Okay. I'll chime in on this. I'm liking the direction of the first two NXT shows, even though the second one was a better show. I mean, Randy Orton raising Javon Evans' hand at the end of that match is going to do wonders for him, as far as like giving him that rub and giving him kind of that notoriety. I think that's going to do wonders for him. Tony D'Angelo winning to me was the right call at this point. It was the right move. Because I mean at this point, if Oba beats him and retains, I mean who's there? Who's there that can come up and be like, yeah, I can take you on right now. So it was pretty much Tony D and nobody else. So I feel like that was the right call. But I do think they're gonna inject him after a little bit. He's about to get injected into this NXT title picture. I think he's the one that's gonna take it off Trick. That's just how I feel. I think he's the one that's gonna take it off Trick, and then Trick will get his main roster call up, and then Oba have his run. What I'm really starting to like though is the NXT women's division and the direction they're about to go, particularly with adding Julia and Stephanie. I believe it's Stephanie Vacour. It's Stephanie Vacour is how you say her name. She is and not going without saying, she is officially my biggest women's wrestling crush right now. But but that woman's fine, boy. But if you let me tell you something, Stephanie Vacour is how you say her name. Stephanie Vacour is how you say her name. Stephanie Vaquer. Vacour. If y'all, man, go back, watch her match with Mercedes Moné. I can't remember which AEW.
Oh my goodness!
I can't remember which AEW pay-per-view that was. But shorty, she carried that. Boy, she's good. She's good. And like her CMLL stuff. Like I've seen clips of her and like CMLL and stuff like that. She's the real deal. And Triple H, boy, when I heard he signed her to go along with Julia, like, man, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Triple H and Shawn Michaels and what they're doing as far as WWE and all this other stuff, but they pulling, they racking them up. And now you got Delta about to come, and now you got Delta about to come in too. Oh boy, they racking up wins in this women's division, man. I'm telling you, man, I'm enjoying this direction that they're about to go. My thing is just like with like Cora Jade coming back, Nikita Lyons coming back. It's like I don't know. Like now you got so many bodies in that women's division. Is like how do you utilize all of them is the main thing. But I will say this though,
Nikita Lyons probably like dropped so much because of the 2 ACL and surgeries.
Right? Yeah. I mean, yeah. She dropped major with those 2 surgeries. But I just hate it. Like her first match back, Lola Vice. Something's telling me that's not going to be like a. Something's telling me that's not going to be like a clean match. No, I don't think it's definitely going to be a clean match for one. I mean Lola Vice for what she's been doing as of late, and then Nikita Lyons come back, and then they're the first match. That's her first match back. So I don't know what they're going to do with that one, but yeah, that ending shot when Stephanie Vacour made her debut and her and Julia both picking up the championship at the same time. I mean, that was a really good. That's like this storytelling, because it's one of those things where it's like, okay, for now we got to deal with these two. We got each other, but when it comes down to it, when it's ready, when it's time to go, we gonna go. And I think they've wrestled each other before. I think they wrestled each other like once before, and I've always felt like the NXT had one of, if not the best women's division, and they're only adding to it. They're only adding to it. Now it's just that, and as far as this NXT title picture goes, I don't know. It's interesting because now you're seeing because I mean, obviously, Ethan Page, of course he's got the claim to it, being the ex champion and everything, but Wes Lee adds a new dynamic to the NXT title picture. And I do appreciate them giving Javon Evans a shot, even though I do I don't know how they. I personally think Wesley's gonna get the next shot. I personally think, but we'll kind of see where it goes. I'm enjoying the Wesley Hill character more than I thought I was going to. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it. I didn't think I was going to enjoy his Hill character, but he's starting to win me over. Particularly that promo with Zach Wentz before their match, like the kind of the ode to the Riddle Seth Rollins promo that they cut them basically them letting them have free reign to basically cuss the hell out of each other. that was a good touch. I'm enjoying the Hill character a lot more than I've anticipated. I just hope with his wrestling style, he does kind of change it up a little bit because we know Wes, he's, high flying, balls to the wall, innovative and all that stuff. I would like to see, with him being a heel, I would like to see a little more ground and pound to his game. I would like to see a little more calculation to his game, a little more psychology. I definitely think he's capable of it because Wesley is so underrated and he's so good. But the St. Louis show was better, but I am liking the direction that they're trying to go with these first two NXTs, and I'm definitely excited to see where they're going to go with this.
For Wesley, I hope he doesn't change it. I don't like when the heel character changes their wrestling style because they're a heel. I like when the heel character changes their wrestling style because the motivations match. And his motivations for being a heel.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't think he needs. I'm not saying like change it all together. I'm just saying like add little bits, like add a little bit to it. I'm not saying change it all together.
You know what I'm saying?
I think his heel character though is that I did this. Like I did this. My wrestling style did this. I got this far. They didn't even want me for real. That's why he turned on his friends because he was that talented and they had to see it. So him being this same wrestler, or at least or trying to outdo other wrestlers, makes sense to me. Trying to outflip a wrestler, trying to outdo a wrestler with their own thing, that makes sense.
I can see that. I can see that.
So I don't need his wrestling style to change too much. I do want to see Javon Evans, Wesley before one of them gets called up, because I think the next
most definitely
get called up is probably Wesley. Wesley's gonna get called up pretty soon, I'm guessing, since he's just been in NXT for fucking years at this point.
I mean, you think Wesley gonna get called up right around the same time as Oba?
I hope not, but he's gonna he'll get outshined by Oba, like very.
I think honestly, I could see Wesley as being like maybe Royal Rumble time, maybe getting a surprise spot in the match.
Yeah, that'd be a good way to debut him. Do some hot.
That'd be a good way to debut him.
I would.
I would love to see him in the Elimination Chamber. I'd want him to just like pull up and just have a banger of a match, so everyone knows this is Wesley. This is what he can do. Because if you put him next to Oba, I swear to you, he's gonna look like a side character. Don't do it. don't do it. Don't put him next to Oba.
I agree with that.
Unless he's going against Oba, don't put him next to Oba.
And I feel as if being that I think they're going to be connected. Obviously, because of the North American title, they're going to be connected in a lot of ways in everything that they did in the NXT. If they do come up together at some point, I feel as if Wesley is going to have to prove that he can stand on that same platform as Oba and do something. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna have to prove that you could stand on that same platform toe to toe with him, and not just in matches that y'all in together one-on-one, but matches even times where y'all separated and you got something going on over here, he got something going on over here, kind of like Seth Rollins and kind of like Roman Reigns. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna have to be that way, because if you look at it, a lot of these NXT talent been coming up in pairs. You got Braun Breaker and Gunther, like they gonna be connected. You know, they gonna be connected. You got Roman and whatchamacallit, they gonna be connected. You got Rhea and Bianca, they gonna be connected. You know what I'm saying? At some point, you're gonna have to match them up. Everybody needs somebody.
That's fair. I don't feel like Wesley does have like a perennial heel that he goes against, so that's fine. I could see it being Oba. I think Trick is just gonna have two, but it's gonna be Carmelo and Oba by the end of his run here. Because I think the story that they're about to give us with Oba and Trick is gonna do numbers. But
Oba and Trick. I know it'll be interesting. I like it.
It's gonna be. I think we're gonna get that stand and deliver. I think that's what they're holding.
I like it. I'm not mad at it. I just
stand and deliver makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I just would like to see how it's gonna be formulated, because it seems as if NXT, they know what they're doing with Oba, and I think Oba already has that NXT crowd. Just off the rip. You know what I'm saying? So but I would like to see when they get to the main roster. I want to see how the booking elevates, how the booking evolves with them, and if they're gonna resonate with the WWE audience.
I think Trick's already there. Every time he pulls up in the main roster, they love him.
They showed him Monday night.
They showed up Monday, and they were getting some of the rip that chick chance. Damn English.
Yeah. And then
Ova's just got that aura. You just need to put him in like 2 squash matches against a reasonably believable character. Like put him in a squash match with like Rey Mysterio. Just let him kill him. Just let him kill Rey Mysterio for one match.
Damn!
Promise you, he'll be over.
Put him in a squash match against the ultimate babyface.
Yeah, just put him in a squash match with Sammy. Put him in a squash match with any of those guys, and just let him cook. Yes, just let him cook in a squash match against a believable character. Don't give him what's bro's name?
I say put him in a squash match against somebody that had a believable run at some point.
No, he's against a believable character, like how Braun did when Braun Breaker came up and he was beating Ilya, he was beating Sammy, he was beating Ricochet, he was beating believable characters. I need Oba to beat believable characters.
Okay, I'm all right with that.
They definitely have to call somebody up soon. Now thinking about with Ilya Dragunov hurt, because that kind of is like a whole. Because I feel like he was a good mid card guy who was still waking his way up. So I feel like a call up is due.
I think it's Wesley. I think once this main event storyline's over, because he's not winning the championship. You might as well.
That's honestly why I think West is win. That's what honestly why I think West is winning tonight, and he's getting that next shot.
Yeah. Oh, I think we're gonna see Iron Survivor Oba, by the way, and that match is gonna cook.
Iron Survivor Oba. Ooh.
Iron Survivor Oba cook.
Iron Survivor Oba gonna cook.
I could be honest with you, bro. Like
giving him 4 guys to throw around like that. Oh, that's gonna cook. Ooh.
The women's division, bro. They can't stop hitting home runs, but like I feel like the men's division, they really got to be potent. And they really gotta map this out properly. But you're absolutely right about Oba. I think they give him some squash matches to begin with, and have his run, look like something. I mean, definitely. I was gonna navigate to what's my man right now? That's Mr. Tsunami.
Bronson
Reed.
Before we go over there, let's finish up this NXT, and then I'll ask everybody their match of the week. So you can get on with that. So I think my final ratings for NXT, keep long story short, probably 8.5 out of 10. It was a really good show, one of the better shows. As a pay-per-view, which I think that's how they were billing it. As a pay-per-view, it was cool, but as a show, it was very, very good. 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd say an 8. Solid 8. It was a good show. Good momentum. I dig it.
Okay. Leaf, how about you?
Yeah, I definitely give it an 8 out of 10 for sure. Strong 8 out of 10. It was good. Solid show, and then got me not just watching the clips. I actually want to tune in this time around.
That's what's up.
Pretty much make it unanimous across the board. Very strong in that 8.5 range. Very strong. I mean, they NXT they hitting it, boy. I mean, you can't knock what they're doing, and it was definitely a good thing of them going to Chicago and St. Louis, really putting them out on the map, letting them travel, do something different, bring it on home to Orlando, and then hopefully we get to watch them cook some more. So I'm excited for them. I'm happy for them because I want them to be pushed as like it's not just a developmental, but legit brand number 3. I want to see them as such. So they're off to a good start.
Gotcha. All right, so what's everybody's match of the week? You know, how y'all feeling? What are y'all gonna put the audience onto this week? What y'all got for us? What hidden gems do you got for us this week?
There's so much.
The match of the week.
Um,
Well, I didn't watch Wrestling Dream, but I definitely seen little clips here and there. I did see Daniel Bryan's in retirement. Um, since I got kind of his swan song. I'm glad his career was able to advance a little bit more. He's somebody that definitely enjoyed wrestling. He had a definite passion for it. You can see that even then when he was in the WWE. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad he got his swan song. You know what I'm saying? So going out on a good note. But I didn't see none of the AEW matches in total and full caption and everything, in full 30-minute review. So I don't really have a match of the week.
No, match of the week is anything, any show, just whatever you watched, whatever.
Whatever I watched, match of the week. I could say moment of the week was the Bloodline. The Bloodline, Roman Reigns, basically being brought down to the truth. It was like, yo, you're not a tribal chief. You're a tribalist chief. You're not. We ain't the ones no more. It's a WWE champion and it ain't you. It's a tribal chief and it ain't you. It's a head of the table and it ain't you. So like everything that's like, so Roman, seeing Roman in this spot, you know what I'm saying? Like it just reminds me that, you know, all things come to an end. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like, call me crazy, man, but yo, listen, I kept saying it, man. I'm gonna say it again. Solo Sikoa stuck to the script. He stuck to the script, man. He didn't break it. You know what I'm saying? He stuck to the script. I don't know what Solo Sikoa did wrong here. He picked up the ball and kept it moving.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, what he was supposed to do? Just fall back and everything. And his swag is way more better, bro. As in the Bloodline now. Like back then, he was just taping his hands up and staying quiet. Samoan Spike, yeah, that was it. Now, you know, he got the Gucci loafers, the trench coat and everything, and the red. And they added a little bit more to it. You know, the Tonga twins going crazy. Of course, Jacob is a nut. Jacob is out of control. I ain't gonna lie to you, but yeah, the Bloodline, man.
Okay.
I gotta give it to him.
All right. Anybody else? What's y'all match of the week this week?
you know what? I mean, so like with the match of the week, I tried to go back for like, you know, like throwbacks, you know, matches from the past. But I can't do that this week. Y'all, please find a way, whether it's clips, highlights, YouTube, TikTok, it don't matter. Find a way to watch that Ricochet, Will Ospreay, Konosuke Takeshita match. Please find a way to watch it. Please find a way to watch it. That is one of the great Ricochet versus Will Ospreay versus Konosuke Takeshita, that triple threat at Wrestledream. If find a way to watch this match, it's one of the greatest triple threat matches I have ever seen. Please find a way to watch that. I mean, I didn't order Wrestledream, but somebody posted like full match highlights, and I sat and I watched the entire thing, and my eyes were glued like halfway in, and I'm just like, how do you like my God, like three guys of this talent, of this level of talent. I mean, that was one of the greatest things that's one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Y'all go find a way to watch that match. I don't care how. Find a way to watch that match. That easy match of the week for me. Find a way to watch that match. That match was amazing.
Facts.
Yeah, don't walk, run.
Please.
It was amazing. It was the right result. It was also push storyline to where we're gonna have one of the most epic freaking feuds, which I think the way it's looking like it should wrap up at World's End if we do this right. I mean, not even that because World's End is December. I don't think. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
this is Full Gear. I keep forgetting we got Full Gear still before World's End. So I mean, you got 2 pay-per-view matches between um, Fletcher and Osprey. Maybe they could push this until. I mean, they could even do like the finale at Wrestle Dynasty because they're starting to promote that, which is January 5th show in Japan. So I don't know. That was a great. I second that match, but I do have um another match of the week that I really enjoyed for the fact of this guy is a star. Kevin Knight is a freaking star. You have to watch him now so you can buy your stocks early because dude's going to take off literally and figuratively because he is a stupid high flyer. So we got the Kim and Kushida did a junior heavyweight tag team title match against Bullet Club War Dogs, and it was a pretty solid match. But I mean, Kevin Knight really just he showed out with his springboard from the ring all the way to the second row of the stands, just showing his athletic ability. He's still really raw, but he does some amazing stuff. He's trained through the New Japan LA dojo, which that's where I first got to know him. Him and then also Cart Connors, who's on the War Dogs. I mean, a lot of these younger guys are starting to push. So that's one thing I really like to do is like kind of follow whoever the young lions are. That's the trainees of the New Japan dojo in New Japan and kind of see them grow and see if they'll become similar to what they had their big Three Musketeers was, with Okada. Was it not Okada? Not Tanahashi. Was it Nakamura and who's the third one? Shibata. I believe those were the original or the last Three Musketeers, which is their crowning of like these are the next generation of who's going to lead this company to the next stage. But yeah, Kevin Knight is awesome. He's freaking awesome. Definitely watch this match. The King of Pro Wrestling show they just did yesterday. Yesterday or maybe Sunday. I don't know what the Japanese time, but it was really fun to watch. Fun match, tag team match, for the titles. So obviously in Kushida, formerly of WWE, junior guys. It was fun. It was a lot of fun, and definitely he's one of those wrestlers you need to circle as like, okay, let me become a fan. Let me watch a couple of his matches and do some studying on. And he's one of those guys.
Okay. My match of the week is simple. It happened yesterday. Underrated. I know people aren't going to talk about it, but that Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Io Sky, Kairi Sane tag team match was amazing. There was that pop up insane elbow.
Oh yeah.
And she caught flight on that elbow. It was crazy. Seeing 2 really small people just like do that was really impressive. Then you had the finish with Bianca Belair going from the out of the ring suplex into the KOD off of the stalling suplex. Amazing. You had the Lash Legend stuff in there, the Jakar Jackson stuff in there. And it just makes the tag division feel like real, and that women's tag division has a lot of trouble with like maintaining legitimacy. It felt legit if you had watched it last night. It was real contenders against real champions with some young people watching and being real hungry for those titles. And that's everything you could ever want out of a division right there. So that's my short, sweet, simple match of the week right there. Moving on from that, let's get into these Wrestledream reactions. We've talked about a little bit throughout the show here and there. A lot of people can't contain their excitement on what happened in this big PLE pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it. I don't care.
PLE.
We had some pretty big matches. We had Mariah May, Willa Nightingale, the triple threat to catch the Will Ospreay Ricochet, Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley. I think that's all.
Private Party, Young Bucks,
Private Party, Young Bucks.
Hangman.
So sorry for Private Party, by the way. I'm so sorry, y'all. You guys just keep losing, by the way. I feel so bad for y'all. Been losing since I was watching. I stopped watching, came back. Y'all are still losing. I'm so sorry.
We can
They got a vignette and they still lost, bro.
do we want to just go straight into this? Because like it's an overarching. Okay, let's just go for it. Let's just do it. So with the finish, it's a two-parter. It's going to be a long discussion. So obviously the ending of Wrestledream has been very controversial. A lot of people are talking about it. And if you didn't know, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a taste of it, right? So obviously we were building up. Well, Bryan Danielson, if he loses the title, his full-time career in the ring is over. So he's going to go home. He's been teasing that he needs neck surgery, which is legitimate. He's really banged up, which is legitimate. And so then Jon Moxley comes in with this newer, I don't know if they're still considered Blackpool Combat Club or they're trying to solidify or, more fierce. But I mean, they literally suffocated Bryan Danielson previously with the plastic bag, and it was very graphic. And it was like, whoa, a shockwave kind of went through AEW with that. And we're trying to figure out, this was kind of leading up to Grand Slam. But so we get to the match, and it was a good match. I mean, they kind of just, Jon Moxley jumps, Danielson from the jump, right? And it was a back and forth until, fast forward to the ending where, spoiler alerts if you haven't seen it, but I mean, everyone's talking about it. Moxley chokes out Danielson and he's knocked out. He's gone. And it's like, I love when Bryce, the referee, was like, he had to ring the bell, but then he was just like, oh no, like realizing in the moment, like, oh, his career's done. And that was like that was a small, nice, really subtle touch I really like. But then post-match, the carnage that Blackpool Combat Club just laid upon Danielson and just, suffocating him again. To where, before that happened, Wheeler Yuta, who's been on Danielson's side this whole time, turns on Danielson. Wheeler Yuta turns on Danielson, which was like, damn. But even still, he felt sorry that he had to do it because there's something in the air with that. That's still something we have to explore. So he's the one who choked out Danielson with the plastic bag, which is very graphic, disturbing, and he just beating him down. And then finally we see baby faces start to run in, and we see I'm tripping right now. Darby run in, Orange Cassidy run in, Jeff Jarrett, Private Party, Daniel Garcia, all just get laid to waste, destroyed. They tie up Darby Allin to the bottom rope to where he had to watch Danielson get his ass beat, destroyed in the ring for him. It was a very powerful moment. People were very controversial because they didn't expect to end the pay-per-view in such a just downer, like the retirement, send the man home in his home state. And it was powerful because you don't see AEW do stuff like that in terms of ending the pay-per-view without that happy kumbaya ending, which I thought was really powerful, which made, I think, this angle really good, really great. I enjoyed this because it was like, oh, we're doing something, right? And then I sent you guys the video about a theory about why this is happening and the symbolism.
Shout out my homie John Boy Bebop for that video. I think it's an awesome video.
It was a really good video. And it kind of helped me process a lot of things that they're doing, especially with the iconic shot of seeing Darby Allin to Orange Cassidy to Daniel Garcia right there. And also early in the show, we saw Jerry Lynn was like, hey, when are you going to finally get serious and, go for the world title? And it's just, obviously Orange just has that nonchalant attitude. So, like, I think right now, this storyline is, I think, really going to set fire to some baby faces throughout the entire AEW company, which is like in one shot, which is like, whoa, because think about it. Private Party also feuded with Moxley. He got his ass beat and his hand broken by Moxley a few weeks ago. And so that was kind of lit the fire for Private Party to get a couple wins to challenge the Young Bucks. But, and Young Bucks really playing it up. Oh, man, this is your shot. Like, you want opportunity to make something happen, be something yourself. They had the video package of really hyping it up. Like, oh, man, like maybe they're actually going to do it, especially with the fanfare they gave them. A lot of near falls, but at the end, they lost. But I think these losses is going to really set up just some of the most white hot baby faces they're going to have since Hangman, because I think Darby Allin is going to be a really good baby face, but then instead of bringing Orange Cassidy, who does really good work and is so unique in his style and his approach, and Daniel Garcia, like they're setting up like multiple baby faces that are like kind of like staggered just enough, and even with the tag division with Private Party to really just like step up, like you see who's going to step up and show out for the company to really ignite everything, because it's like almost acknowledging like, hey, this status quo has not been good enough. It's not like this company is dying, but someone had to take it upon themselves, John Moxley, to do something about it, to make a drastic change. And I'm really excited to see the result of this storyline and how it plays out through the entire company.
Yeah.
I think from what I've noticed, like with watching AEW, they've tried they've tried. They've really tried as far as like their storytelling and their storylines. And a lot of them have been hit and miss. Like now, obviously, you got the Swerve and Hangman rivalry, which is the greatest rivalry in the history of the company. Argue with your mama. And like it's like, and then they had the Devil storyline that was like, it was predictable. And then you kind of got to the climax, and then after that, it was MJF took time off, and then it was like, okay, what are we doing? This storyline has the potential to be the one to finally give AEW just that. Like, this has the potential to finally be the one, as long as they play their cards right and they get this right. This finally can be the one, particularly because you're setting up future stars, future megastars for this company with Darby, with Orange Cassidy, with Daniel Garcia, with Private Party. Yeah, you might as well throw Private Party in there, because this is probably about as over as they've been as a tag team since they beat the Young Bucks a few years ago and pulled off that upset. This is probably about as over as they've been since.
Week 2, that was 5 years ago. Week 2,
exactly. That was 5 years ago, and this is about as over as they've been since. They have a shot with this storyline if they play their cards right. Because it's almost like I like what they're doing though with John Moxley, because he's like we say like anti-heroes, and it's almost like he's like the anti-heel in this. It's like he don't want to do it, but it's almost like everybody's left him no choice. Like he got to do something. So if he has to like dig down and just bring out just that side of him that you just don't want to see, but if he's got to do it to really just get the young guys to really see what they really need to do in order to help jumpstart this company and where they want it to be, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hurt some people, but if I get you on your A game with what I'm about to do, then my mission is gonna be accomplished. And like the Wheeler Yuta angle of it, I think was a nice touch, because I still feel like at some point he's about to absolutely destroy either one of Pac or Claudio Castagnoli. I feel like at some point he's still going to destroy one of them at some point. He's like, yeah, and that's what I'm waiting on. I think that's going to be so fire. That's going to be so good, because you feel like it's coming. He's kind of at this point where it's like, okay, they're not letting. I need to do something. They're not letting up. I need to just fall in line right now. But the first chance I get, if Pac is by himself, I am running through him. You know, and you know it's coming because I feel like this storyline is setting him up as well. Even though he's on the other side of it, I feel like they're setting him up as well because, like I said, when he finally gets that chance to run through one of those boys, he's gonna do it. So they have a shot to build and create so many new faces with this. I just hope, God, I hope they nail this because if they don't nail this storyline, I don't know what. I don't know at this point. They got a shot with this one. They have to nail. They have to get this story. They got to do this. They got to do this because I really don't hold hope for them as far as storylines if they don't get this right. This got such potential to be really, really, really good, and I've enjoyed it. I've liked it because I mean, just I don't know, like the shock factor with John Moxley bringing out the plastic bag and then doing it again, and then Willa Yuta turning and then putting the bag over Bryan Danielson's head is just it's like the right amount of the right amount of controversy needed to really spark something up like this. So I hope they get it. I hope they get this because they are overdue for a long-term story to knock it out the park. They're overdue. I really hope they get this right.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I really hope this is the story that creates the landscape for AEW in the coming years. You get your guys that can build your future guys and build your future guys, and that cycle starts going and that starts churning. I see a lot of potential in a lot of the baby faces they have now, but none of them are really at that level of like, oh, this is our future guy. This is the storyline where you're gonna see a lot of those baby faces in that main event picture. You're gonna see a lot of them taking big wins and big losses and propelling storylines crazy. This is the kind of storyline where cinema gets made. Not to be the guy that just overuses the word, but this is for sure that kind of storyline. I'm really, really happy that Bryan Danielson's the guy that was involved in this because he's one of those few guys that is willing to go out in a moment of loss and take that. I hope that when his part-time career comes to an end, because this is just the end of his full-time career, of course, they give him that big send-off. I think he does deserve it.
Oh, for sure. He'll get it. I don't even know if he'll get it because I think he's a guy. I think if he can move, I think he will wrestle and you know what I mean. Like not saying Ric Flair type level, but you know what I mean. I just don't. I think he's always going to be a part of the industry, and yeah, I think he was always going to
one way or another. Yeah, that's fair.
If this one more thing real quick, if this storyline does not go all the way to next year's All In, I am going to be highly disappointed. It's got to go to all. It's got to. I know, but I mean, we got to get some type of. I mean, we got to get. I mean, the first real big one of the real big All In's got to be one of those turning point type of.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not a cliffhanger. Maybe cliffhanger turning point. It's got to be something everybody's oh my god, where do we go from here? They'll probably go past All In, but All In's got to be that first real breaking point. Yeah, oh my god.
Yeah.
I just want to say, I know it's been said before and it'll be said again. That NXT that we had with Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley, and Seth Rollins, every single year just gets crazier and crazier with the accomplishments that these three guys are just pulling off. What this should be talked about in the same way that we talk about the Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Randy Orton, OVW, because holy, these three are just different when it comes to this wrestling business. They know what's up. They know how to be the face of a company. They know how to. They know, man. Because holy.
Oh, the fact that Bryan Daniels' last match Last match on Raw was Seth. Last match on SmackDown was Roman. Last full-time match in AEW was Mox. Bro, that's full circle type stuff right there, bro.
They had great.
That's full circle type stuff.
This is crazy.
That's that Dusty. Honestly, Dusty, his impact, man, that he's had on this industry. Just the guidance through character development and pushing them, but also like those early FCW NXT days. I mean, they were in the real dumps. Like they were like grinding. Like that was like indie, but WWE happened to own it. And,
Mm-hmm.
Doing the basics and just kind of like being in the struggle together. And then it's like there was no maybe I can't remember when the Performance Center opened.
I think there was a Performance Center. But it wasn't like what it is now.
Yeah.
It was like a different thing.
So it's just like, that is cool. Like, I think that was really cool, real, grassroots, punk rock type, what it grew into. And now it's kind of more, it's obviously way more mainstream and bigger. But like, yeah, that generation that started it all, I mean, absolutely insane. But then even like the generation that kind of fueled it, they kept the run for a while. And they had a good mix of guys who were like on the scene, but also guys who were like they wanted to grow and build as well. So I mean, Tyler Black, Seth Rollins. I mean, he was destined to be one of the next big stars. He got signed up well, and then obviously John Moxley was wrestling for a while, but Roman knew. I mean, Big E knew Huskus. Bray. I think Bray had some indie stuff before, but yeah, it was an amazing generation. And so,
yeah. Let's talk about this triple threat now. This big old triple threat that happened, and I personally, this was the only match I really cared about. I watched it. It was everything I wanted it to be, and.
Oh my God.
I'm just like, I can't wait to see what happens next. There's so many matches that are going to spawn out of this. Same with that main event storyline. Like this storyline could easily go 6-7 months in terms of the matches that they could tell, the stories that they could tell with this. The amount of just, I'm so happy they gave them fucking, let me just be a fan real quick. I'm so happy they gave the fucking championship to my guy, bro. Oh my God. I would just be a fan. Like, man, this guy is so cool. And he got his championship. Hell yeah.
Ricochet?
No, Takeshita won. Takeshita won.
Respectfully.
It was the right call.
It's Takeshita's time right now.
Oh yeah,
man.
Bro, did you see him on Dynamite when he had this fire outfit and gave Ospreay one of the most cleanest?
I didn't see this match at all, but I could tell from looking at these three individuals that this was a hell of a match.
Leaf, find a way to watch it, bro. Find a way to watch it, bro.
I haven't been watching AEW. I'm kind of fringe with. I'm very, very fringe with it. I guess I gotta start digging into AEW stuff, man.
Don't even gotta check storylines. Let this be part of the fringe. Watch it. You don't even. Hey. Let this be part of the. This is one of those things that.
Do they got any clips of the match? Any shorts of the match?
I think so. They got some clips. Yeah.
Just go to TikTok and look. Like you'll.
Oh my god! Oh my god! He called him.
Yeah, they got full match highlights. Yes. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Hey man.
What the hell type of gymnastic shit? I mean, I've seen listen, disclaimer. I've seen Ricochet do some shit in the ring that I didn't think was possible, like when he came up to WWE, because that was most of the time when I watched him. But this shit right here is unseemly, man. Like, come on, this is like
they went off, bro.
We talking about you're one wrong move away from like your career ending for good, bro. Like, and this is so highly executed to perfection. It's just like, what the hell? How the hell does somebody formulate their body and their whole being to do this type of shit where they're flying out of the ring, backflipping and shit? Oh, come on, man. This here.
The spot the spot for me in this match where Takeshita has Ricochet up on his shoulders and Will Ospreay gives him the Doomsday Device. Ricochet backflips off it, lands on his feet, gives Takeshita a German suplex, and then Ospreay comes behind Takeshita, gives him a German suplex. I'm just like, y'all stop. Y'all popping off too much. Y'all popping off too much.
This is pretty much the other end. Like, if for anyone who enjoyed that Gunther Drew Sheamus triple threat, this is the other way, like the opposite way of how good of a triple threat it can be. The other side of wrestling.
Yes.
This
you have your Gunther Drew Sheamus like violence at the utmost high, and then you have like the acrobats at the utmost high with this match right here. Like, man,
this Takeshi the guy, bro. Like, he is.
Oh, he's
real deal, real deal.
This dude,
real deal.
Oh my god!
I think if they book him right within a year and a half, he's AEW World Champion in a year and a half. They book him right, straight up.
I can see him being an AEW World Champion. He should be. He should have been. He should have been a while ago. If we're being honest, they booked him right. He should have been a while ago.
Oh, what a stomp!
But the question is, though, do we like him better as a face or a heel, Takeshita?
I like him as a champion, respectfully. I don't care what you
get.
I don't care how you package it.
No, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen with Takeshita is what happens with a lot of wrestlers. The fans are gonna force them to turn him babyface. Is what's gonna happen with Takeshita. The fans are gonna force it. Because he's just that good. Because he's just that good. The fans are gonna force it. Is what's gonna happen with him.
It might be a thing where if you do it right, you build your future baby faces into Darby Allins and Orange Cassidy's. Once they beat Jon Moxley, or once they beat once they're done with this this storyline of this year-long storyline.
Jon Moxley versus Jessica? Oh.
No. He could be that big next heel to come in and fight those new white hot baby faces you just created and make him that staple heel for your company. And so you get Darby Allin, you get the Takeshita Orange Cassidy's, you get those, you just get match after match after match after match with him, and you just let him cook. Then you can turn him face. Go ahead. After that, let him have his heel run. I think that's going to be best. Because right now you're building up faces, and you're going to need those heels to come after him. Once that storyline's done.
Not for nothing. Why did I just find out this is the 20th year of Carlito's debut on WWE?
Congratulations, Carlito. You're not doing nothing right now, but like respect to you, bro.
Respect to Carlito. I mean, I kind of when he came on in 2004, and this is before John Cena ever won WWE Championship too. But he faced John Cena that night in 2004. And John Cena was still in like freestyle mode. I ain't gonna lie, Thugonomics era John Cena I did like I just thought it was like catchy. It was just like a catchy gimmick or whatever. But he debuted 2004.
Okay. Any other thoughts, impressions, matches you guys want to talk about in this pay-per-view before we move on?
Before we move on from this match,
hey.
I'm curious to see what Ricochet does from here. Obviously, I think he can still have matches with Takeshi, which I think will be great. And then I think we're also going to be on the path to seeing Takeshi versus Kenny Omega once he returns as well, which I'm hearing is like 2 to 3 months. So probably
beat him again too
early next year. So like that would be really cool. So I'm just really hyped about again, like just setting up like so much stories. Like I think this show did a really good job of having a lot of like strings to like get people through and to start to like, okay, where can we go? And getting, especially during the end of the year, because like a lot of times, like at least for like the WWE cycle, like you kind of get a slight bit of a dead period like right after Survivor Series, and then it's like, okay,
right.
And then boom, like now we're on the road to WrestleMania. Like we're on the road to WrestleMania, but it's like we got a lot of time before the road to WrestleMania. Before we really start cooking right before like Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
So it's like the fact that they're starting to really heat up to kind of finish the year strong, what you need to do, and then come in with a bang and just kind of get that momentum going for 2025, I think is really positive.
Yeah.
What one thing I don't want to see them stop teasing though. Please do not stop teasing because I want my Takeshita Okada match. Do not stop teasing it. Give me this match.
But
Give
like
me
they're
this
both
match
heel
at some point.
I have a question for y'all because Bobby Lashley was supposed to debut
Yes.
this show, so I'm guessing he's debuting on Dynamite tomorrow.
I heard
And I called it. They did the right thing. They did the right thing with Swerve not having him join yet. They did the right thing. I'm glad they did the right thing with that.
Do you think he's still joining? You think he's joining?
I don't know. I don't want him to. I don't want him to.
Yeah.
I don't want him to.
We shall see. Oh shit. Okay, so also something about so like the creative of like they not wanting to have too many Seattle-based stars get beat up on the same show, which I think will affect. But one thing to a small note, and we can push past it quick, is Jimmy Jacobs, who was one of the right-hand people who kind of really rose to fame for his creative, became the right-hand person to Tony Khan, left the company apparently like last week or so, and
Mm-hmm.
they've been talking about it for a while that he was going to leave, but they're already starting to think about refreshing up creative, which I mean, I like that. I think obviously since QT Marshall left the company for like a short period of time, kind of not being like the right hand guy to Tony Khan, there was definitely a change. There's also a lot of new people in that room now, which is interesting. So like I'm excited to see if this is like their route they're trying to go in for like the new creative direction going into 2025. Like especially I need Will Washington to be more involved. Like I know Will Washington had his heavy hand in a lot of the Swerve Hangman stuff, but give that man a raise because he knows ball and he needs to be more of an influence on this show.
Respect. Yeah, I think it is about time for a revamp, especially if we're about to go into a supposed new era for.
I was
AEW.
actually looking at trying to look for some more clips of the match, and I had to remind myself that I did make a TikTok because my girlfriend, she wanted me to make a TikTok, but my maid wanted, and I seen some other stuff. I'll be honest with you, I don't think I've ever seen some shit like that in my life.
It is a one of a kind match.
Years, man, and I'll be honest with you. That is some of the most that was some of the most riskiest shit that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, when they announced this match had no choice but to cook, and it lived up to every single bit of hype.
It's the Osprey effect, to be honest, man. That man does not know how to have a bad match. Like
you right about that too. You right about that, CJ.
Absolute prime of his career right now.
Yeah, the Osprey guy, man, was good. Takeshita guy is good. Ricochet is always good, man. This is just high level, high acrobat, high action. It's just no spaces. It's no empty spaces in the match. That at least from what I'm seeing or the clip, because you know how they have the matches and they show every bump. They had something on had like little shorts where they showed every bump in the match, and a lot of the shit that I'm seeing is just like, yo, somebody's career is gonna end, man. Like this is just ridiculous, man. Come on, it get to the point in wrestling. It's just like, all right, I think when you trying to be innovative to a point where you just like, yo, I don't give a damn if we damn near, kill each other. Like we gonna innovate something. Everybody gonna leave here remembering what happened this night. It's only a few times that I saw this. The times that I saw it is King of the Ring '98. I saw it in what was it, the night that in SmackDown with Brock Lesnar suplex Big Show off the top rope. I saw it the night with Mick Foley and Mick Foley and Edge WrestleMania. I saw it a couple of nights, and I'm like, this is probably the one match that I'm seeing, even though I haven't seen it in its entirety, where I'm like, this ain't right. this ain't right at all.
Talk about an instant classic. And it's really good. This is what I love seeing when you can go from like a WWE pay-per-view and you get that 5-star classic and which did get 5 stars. Dave Meltzer gave it 5 stars, that Hell in a Cell match.
He gave it 5.
He gave it 5. He gave it 5. He had
to. He better have.
The CM Punk match?
Yes.
Yeah, he better have.
And then he gave that 5 stars?
He gave it 5 stars.
He better have.
You can go from a 5-star.
So Dave Meltzer gave
an
CM
AEW
Punk.
pay-per-view.
Hold up, wait. So Dave Meltzer gave CM Punk a 5-star match, but he never gave The Undertaker not one 5-star match.
I think CM Punk has 2. Does he not?
No, Undertaker.
The highest rating I think he ever gave Undertaker was WrestleMania 25 with Shawn. He gave that 4 3/4.
That's a damn shame.
That's a travesty. He never gave Kurt Angle. He said, and he never gave Kurt Angle one either.
That's a damn shame. The Kurt Angle match against Shawn at WrestleMania.
WrestleMania 20, yeah. WrestleMania, what was it, 21?
21. Yeah, the Kurt Angle match against The Undertaker at No Mercy. The one against Brock Lesnar at 19. The one
he gave Shawn Michaels and Undertaker in your house 5 stars.
That was the Bad Blood?
In 97, in your house.
Bad Blood? That was Bad Blood?
In your house.
That must have been the first match.
In 97, yeah. He gave that one a 5-star. So
that match ended in DQ anyway. I guess
when it comes to Shawn Michaels, he gives Shawn Michaels 5 stars.
Shawn Michaels. It's Shawn Michaels. How could you not get? I don't remember. What is the lowest Shawn Michaels rank match?
No, Shawn Michaels has some stinkers.
Okay.
No.
No. Oh, okay. All right. Correction. The time when he came back, when him and Triple H faced, whatchamacallit, that was horrible.
That was bad.
That was horrible. Like everybody knew how to work, but everything that could go wrong in that match went wrong. That was horrible.
I didn't need that storyline when it was him and was it JBL? And he was like working for JBL.
Oh yeah.
I could have lived without that. I could live without that.
I could live without that too, because his wife came and then he grabbed her hand and was like, "Hey baby, we going." And then that's when it led to the WrestleMania 25 thing, and it was like, all right.
It was like, it's good. Shout out Shawn Michaels though, bro. One of my favorite wrestlers.
He probably the best, probably the greatest to ever do this.
Oh, sorry, Bret Hart.
I'm going with
you putting Bret Hart. I mean, well, terms of
it's the debate. It's the Bret Hart or Shawn Michaels.
I get what you're saying, CJ, but overall, in terms of the whole body work in, I guess if you want to say sports entertainment, wrestling to sports entertainment, like combination, I can't. Is it like Shawn Michaels? He has to be the best that has ever done this.
Still going Undertaker.
I mean, he's up there for sure.
I got Undertaker. I'm okay with Taker.
I mean, Taker has done it. The longevity Taker has had is special for sure.
But I'm not. But the thing about Taker's longevity, I'm not. It wasn't Taker's longevity that got me. It was Taker's it was Taker's ability to tap in to everything that made his character believable.
His in-ring storytelling was like second.
His in-ring storytelling was absolutely magnificent.
And being able to like, and also another thing that really not a lot of people talk about, because I know not everybody always talks about move sets and stuff like that, but his ability to adapt with his move set with the times, like especially like that late 2000s going into the 2010s where you knew he was kind of like, you knew it was starting to come. He was getting older. and like more of the submission game because he's a UFC guy, he's an MMA guy. So the hell them letting him use the Hell's Gate submission and then tapping into the striking, him starting to wear the MMA gloves and all that other stuff. Just his ability just to adapt with the time was another thing with me, was why I love the Undertaker so much. Like his ability.
I thought he always had that, but when that style when his striking style really came into like really fruition was like 96. I seen it at the Royal Rumble in 96, and I seen it more so when Mick Foley came around, because like you can see a lot of his speed and a lot of like his in-ring storytelling like turned up with his speed and how and Mick Foley, had it not been for Mick Foley, bro, like the very best of the Undertaker was like kind of limited to like, all right, I'm gonna just intimidate my opponent to the point where I'm walking slow. I got that methodical pace, and he just stuck to that character. Everything before that, that's what you saw. Once Mick Foley came around, man, that it was just you could see it was just a different physicality. It was a different everything. It was a
He
lot
told
of
him,
things
basically told him to just go out and just do your thing. Just go wrestle. Do your thing. I got you. We gonna do this. And he brought it out of him.
He was one of those.
I think Mick Foley brought it out of a lot of people, bro.
Exactly. He did. Yes, he did.
Oh yeah, he did. Mick Foley brought it out of a lot of people, because like he would take a lot of what he would do. A lot of people wouldn't do in the ring, even around the ring. I guess in a sense, man. So Mick Foley, he brought it out of you. He was okay with that style. He even talked about Leon, aka Big Van Vader, rest in peace. One of the hardest hitting dudes he ever been in a ring with. Like he used to like his taps. It felt like he wasn't hitting you as hard, but he was such a heavy guy. 400 pounds, agile as hell, man. When he hit you, it was like, damn, yo. It was just like, oh, damn. Like you couldn't fake that at all. But did Stone Cold Steve Austin ever have a 5-star match?
I think so. I think he had one.
Him and Brett
97.
I think the submission match was 5 stars.
Yeah, him and Brett at
WrestleMania 13.
I think so. I think it was WrestleMania 13.
Okay. What about The Rock?
No,
I don't think The Rock had one. Maybe
The Rock didn't have one.
If they didn't give Hogan and Rock one, that should have been a 5-star. It should have been.
Rock, just based off of storytelling, it should have been. I like that because I thought it could have been. I mean, Hogan probably the least amount of talent in the history of this business, but I mean, it definitely should have been.
It was crazy.
What about Triple H? Triple H, he had one, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think he had 2 or 3. He had a couple.
Shawn Michaels? Was Shawn Michaels?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shawn Michaels had like 3 or 4. Shawn Michaels was cooking. Like,
Shawn Michaels should have
I'm trying to think which matches from Triple H would have got 5 stars. Off the top of my head, WrestleMania 28, end of an era.
WrestleMania
the Hell in a Cell.
I want to say WrestleMania 20, the triple threat match with him and Shawn.
Him and Shawn, and I think that probably would have gotten 5. Yeah.
You got Shawn's got 1, 2. The Rock has 1. He's got one. James
Rock's
Harrison
got a 5-star. Who?
With who?
James Harrison versus The Rock on Raw got 5 stars.
James Harrison versus The Rock on Raw.
Yes, January 1998.
James Harrison.
Yes, I don't know who James Harrison is. Oh, I think this is fake. Okay, this is fake.
You gotta be fake.
I was like,
someone just added their creative character to actual 5-star matches. I don't know why.
When you said James, I was
like, who the hell is James Harrison?
That's the football player.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find like a list of all the WWE matches because they want to give me New Japan, and if you look at New Japan, you'll be there all day. Yeah. Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Owen Hart. Yeah. Bret Hart, Stone
So
Cold.
WrestleMania 12 against Shawn Michaels, Bret and Shawn had that 5-star. That had to be
The Iron Man match.
Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels didn't get one.
Oh wow!
Ooh.
I'm looking. I don't think
that's
so.
kind of sickening. I ain't gonna lie.
But
Because I know CM Punk John Cena got 5 for 2011 Money in the Bank.
yeah, Andrade and Johnny Gargano in NXT Takeover.
Yeah, what was that? The Philly one?
Yeah.
That was the Philly one. Yeah.
Adam Cole versus EC3 versus Killian Dane versus Lars Sullivan.
The ladder match. The North American title ladder match that got 5.
Yeah. Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa got 5. Mustache Mountain versus Undisputed Era got 5. Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole again. Gunther and Tyler Bate. Then the Drew McIntyre match. Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Gunther.
Yeah.
Gunther, Ilya Dragunov got 5. Both of them got 5. Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins in the Hell in a Cell got 5. Gunther, Sheamus at Clash of the Castle got 5.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus the Usos got 5. That's surprising. What else got 5? Cody Rhodes, AJ Styles got 5.
Which one?
The Backlash at France.
Okay. Yeah, I can see it. I
think the crowd really.
The crowd got that.
That's all of them. That's all of them. So
wow.
Triple H, there was no 5-star matches in the 2000s.
None in the 2000s?
None.
Wow.
No 5-star matches in the 2000s. Wait. So hold up. We're going from 2000 to 2009. So no Kurt Angle matches.
2010.
No Shawn Michaels matches.
No
Triple H matches. No Undertaker matches.
Nope.
CM Punk John Cena, I think, was the first WWE 5-star match. I want to say since the Bret Stone Cold match.
No. I think there was one before Bret or one after Bret and Stone Cold.
Shawn Michaels Undertaker 97.
Shawn Michaels Undertaker.
Yeah,
but it was the first one. It was the first one since.
So from 98 to 20 to Money in the Bank in 2011.
Yeah.
No 5-star matches until CM Punk John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
See, yeah, this is a problem. This is how people get uppercutted, bro. Like with this BS in these ratings, man. Like it's the same thing in basketball and football conversations, bro. Like you gotta tread, tread softly. Like
which is crazy because people got to understand because people got to understand that includes the TLC matches, the Edge and Christian, Dudleys and Hardys. Neither one of those got 5. That includes those. That includes Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Last Man Standing. Yeah. Any of the Triple H, Shawn Michaels matches, none of those got 5. That includes those. That includes
Kurt Angle matches during that time.
Kurt Angle matches during that time. Yes. I feel like Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, Hell in a Cell 02 is underrated. That didn't get it. Like man, that's crazy, bro.
I thought that match was amazing.
Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, that Hell in a Cell match in No Mercy 02. That was
very,
fire.
very underrated.
That was fire.
Bro. Like,
that match was fire.
Brock carried.
That match was fire.
And then the reverse. The second that I seen Brock Lesnar reverse the tombstone and then was
into an F5
and then tossed Undertaker in midair into the F5, I was like, oh no!
That's one of the greatest. That's one of the greatest counters I've ever seen in a match in my life.
I ain't think Brock. That's when I knew Brock Lesnar was solidified.
That's crazy. That's crazy to think about. That's crazy to think about. 14 years between 5-star matches. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah, but on to the place that gets nothing but 5-star matches. Let's talk about New Japan. Let's talk about New Japan now.
Calls out Gunther. New era in
Yes, sir.
New Japan
Great photo.
wrestler.
New Japan. We got a lot of new champions in New Japan. Zack Sabre Jr. just
I
took
haven't
his
watched New Japan in so long, man. Like I gotta get back on it, man.
I do too. I do too. Leaf, I'm with you. I got you.
They had some matches, man, like that I would go back to and look at. A lot of the way that I got up on Japan stuff was and this is very, very gruesome, is through the death matches. I actually sat there. I thought something was wrong with me when I watched them shits in this entirety, man. I didn't watch them. I watched them shits and I didn't grimace when I seen the Terry Funk matches and when I seen the Oshida matches because Oshida had signed Mick Foley and I had seen his documentary on Vice. They had the Dark Side of Wrestling documentary on Vice. You guys need to watch that. I watched a lot of those, by the way. Yeah, it was some crazy stuff. It was some wild stuff. It was, it was that's how I got up on New Japan. That's how I found New Japan wrestling through death matches in Japan. Yeah, which was crazy, bro. Like I'm like, yo, something's wrong with me, bro. Because I used to watch them, like I'll be watching like regular news channels and some shit. I'm like, there's no pulse, there's no vein, there's no nothing. Like,
I mean, that's the beauty of pro wrestling.
Something's wrong with me.
It's such a vast spectrum of different matches that you can see, like from cheesy to hardcore to death matches. Like there's such a wide spectrum. Like there's always something you can show people to really be like, oh wow, and captivate their attention for 5 minutes.
The match that got me into New Japan, because like I'd seen like inklings of like some of the wrestlers, but the match that really got me into New Japan, and I hate saying it and admitting it, but it's the truth. But you remember how when people got excited, like AJ Styles was WWE champion, and when Shinsuke Nakamura won the Royal Rumble and he chose AJ Styles, and we knew we were getting that match at WrestleMania. The match that got me into New Japan was their Wrestle Kingdom match.
Ooh.
Yeah. That was like one of the first matches I've seen from New Japan.
I don't remember seeing that match, but I do remember AJ Styles matches.
Boy.
I remember seeing like little snippets of it and here and there.
Man. I just so happen to know like somebody had that match in its entirety posted on YouTube. And I'm like, you know what? I want to watch it, and I watched it.
Somebody had that match posted on Twitter. Actually, I might have seen that on
Twitter. Daily Motion has a bunch of stuff.
Daily Motion has a lot of stuff.
They do.
They pirate like mug, bro. Like they got
a lot of good wrestling stuff. Yes, they does.
Yes, they do.
But I'm gonna leave this up to CJ. He's our resident New Japan expert here, you know. So break us down. What's going on in the world of New Japan?
So
talk your stuff, homie. Talk your stuff.
Similar to you guys, like I have been. I'm like kind of right now, like this past week, I've been kind of having like a rejuvenation of watching more wrestling that's just, you know, outside of AEW and WWE. So, I mean, I watched a little Ring of Honor this week. I watched New Japan. I'm thinking about watching TNA. I'm honestly just kind of giving up my time and my spare time to watch wrestling right now, which we'll see how long that lasts. But yeah, with New Japan, like, I mean, I realized like I fell off of it because like AEW poached like all of the main talent, right? And so they are like ever since 2017, 2018, like it was a golden era of New Japan with Kenny Omega and Naito and Tanahashi still can move decently, and Okada. And so, you know, Cody was in there. The Young Bucks were doing matches. Like there were so many guys, and it was such a hot product at the time. Obviously, like just before AEW started, so there was, you know, you got pretty much a lot of your AEW talent. Jay White was doing stuff. Juice Robinson, like they had a really good talent pool. But what New Japan has been going through is guys are just getting old. I mean, Okada's gone, which is their biggest star in a while. And he's in AEW pretty much on his Shinsuke Nakamura bag. Just got a bag. I'm vibing. I'm chilling. I'll give you a decent match. And, you know, if I need to step it up, I will. But I'm coasting right now. So it's like guys are getting older. And so there's been a change in leadership in New Japan as of I think that was last year now. Tanahashi is he just also announced on the show that he will be retiring January 4th, 2026, unless he wins the title, which is, a rib. Because he's now the president of New Japan and is helping lead New Japan into the next generation. And he put out a 10-point plan of things he wants to do to improve the company. And one of the biggest things was like really reinvesting and developing young talent. And one of the really cool things I really like about New Japan is their dojo system. And hardcore graps, like you go through like just getting your ass beat in camp and learning how to wrestle, doing it like 500 squats a day, 500 push-ups, like just doing it like old school style, building you up, teaching you how to wrestle. You get, if you start to do well in your class, you get to do some young lion matches, early first match, like dark matches on pay-per-views and shows. And then, you get opportunity to keep wrestling, bigger talent, get to learn. Then you go on your excursion. So they want you to go on excursion to learn a different style of wrestling. So you might have an excursion to America, to Mexico, to UK, Australia, to learn a different style of wrestling, to build your character up, and then come back when you officially graduate from the dojo and you're ready to debut with New Japan and working your way up through the system. And so I think what's been an issue is I think one of their most recent stars they were trying to push up, they kind of just didn't really land. They didn't really land with a lot of people. They didn't have that star power from the jump. So now they're trying to really figure out how to push the younger talent and stop and like not get away from keep pushing the same 40, 50-year-old wrestlers that, that's not going to lead you to growth. And so they're kind of redoing that now. And I'm trying to relearn the landscape a little bit watching the show. I've seen some of the obviously Kevin Knight was a young lion, Clark Connors was a young lion, David Finlay, Juice was at one point, Jay White, Ren Narita, who was supposed to be like, I think what Ren Narita's issue kind of was like he was so much like Shibata, and they were trying to make him to be like the next Shibata, but he just had no personality whatsoever. But now they're kind of repackaging him, and he's a heel, and it's like like Ren Narita gives me the vibe of Jack Perry, where like you see potential in him, but it's like he's lacking that like character and that like personality, and he's slowly starting to get it with this heel turn right now. And he just won the New Japan World TV title over Jeff Cobb. So I think that's positive. I think they're starting to push younger talent into position to where they can sink or swim. And they're, and I think that was been one of Tanahashi's biggest pillars for his 10-point plan. Obviously, growing the relationship between AEW and Ring of Honor. Because, like, I mean, the thing is, like, with Forbidden Door, right? Forbidden Door is one of those things where it's like, oh, man, we get to see, like, these cool matches we're not going to see anymore. But now it's like so many of the top talent from New Japan that we wanted to see are gone. And they're in AEW now. So it's like then Forbidden Door kind of loses its luster. Like, New Japan is not really it doesn't hold the weight that it once had now. So it's tough for New Japan. So I think they're going to be in that period of time of really trying to try new things, let people grow. And I swear, if they do not give Gabe Kidd the reins soon, he has the New Japan Strong title and he's doing great stuff. I love his unhinged nature, just cutting promos on anything, everything. If we get a Gabe Kidd versus MJF match at Forbidden Door, Wrestle Dynasty, wherever, I'm here for it, because those two on the mic just cutting promos on each other, I think it's going to be money. And it's going to be great. So, which leads me to now, like with New Japan, like I watched this show and, we seeing new champions, younger people get the reins and get an opportunity to kind of showcase and do stuff. And with now Zack Sabre Jr., who was widely regarded as, for the longest time, one of the greatest technical wrestlers, is probably the greatest technical wrestler in the world right now. and he was always a junior heavyweight, but he was in the heavyweight division, but kind of undersized. He started putting on more size. He joined TMDK about I think ago now, and he's really kind of just been grinding. He won the G1, which resulted in him getting the opportunity for the title and winning. And I think Zack Sabre Jr. is like someone who grinded through New Japan and was there for years, and he got the reward of seeing someone that we're not used to. Like, we think, okay, he's good, but like I don't think he's going to be that guy. And then he's consistently put in the work. Puts people in awkward situations, have really good matches, and grow and grow and grow. And then you see him finally cultivate to him being champion. And so now we got to start to have these struggles with guys that we can start to reinvest. And who's going to step up and take the ball? Like, I mean, outside of Okada, like, who was like one of the most recent great pillars? It was like Jay White, Kenny Omega, like those guys are not walking through that door. Will Ospreay, excuse me, Will Ospreay. I mean, he was carrying that New Japan banner with pride, and he was pretty much like showing you the standard bearer of like, this is the competition, this is the level. But now his deal is up with New Japan, and now he's in AEW doing what he did, captivating people. And no one's really doing that, and Will Ospreay really carried this company through a dark time, and it's still kind of in that dark time because there hasn't been someone that's like making waves of like, oh, you got to go watch this New Japan match, unfortunately, right now. And so I think people should give it to kind of watch, because I think I'm excited to see what they're doing now with the new Wrestle Dynasty pay-per-view, their collaboration with AEW, but it's going to be in Tokyo, Japan, in the Tokyo Dome. So we're going to start to see that influx of New Japan talent in America within the next couple months. I think we're going to start building feuds up for that. And we shall see, man. Yeah, like New Japan, I think right now is kind of in the AEW sense, but like I think they've fallen. Because New Japan for a while was the number 2 promotion in the world in terms of like real top-notch wrestling. But now it's fallen, and they're kind of back to their old dark period of time right before the Murder Grandpa and Tanahashi and Shinsuke Nakamura. They all kind of came through and really had to carry that company to a new dawn, and I think that's what we're seeing currently in New Japan. They're trying to reestablish. It's going to take time. It's going to be like a TNA build, like, hey, we don't really know what you're doing too much, but like we need like those notable big time moments, and hopefully we can start getting that with the collabs with Wrestledream, Wrestle Dynasty, and then Forbidden Door, to where getting that buzz on American TV and American promotion with AEW helps catapult them and, really start to have some really cool stuff, because Japan and their production is top notch. The aura that they have in those historic venues that they go into, like, Japan is great, and like the company is great. Now it's like we need to push and develop new stars that are going to lead like New Japan and give it that aura again. So.
Okay. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see the future of this company. I might have to check in, see a couple matches for myself with what's going on over there. I've never been too familiar with New Japan and what they got going on. But I do enjoy the wrestling. Every time I go in there, they always got great wrestling going on. And that's one thing you can always just expect.
It's unique, and it's just like it's something about the blue mat, that powder blue. That's just like, huh, and just the different presentation style and how they do big matches. So like one of the things I did to really kind of start to get into New Japan was like, again, like finding a wrestler, finding someone to be like, okay, let me just follow this person and just watch some of their matches. Like, I really like Gabe Kidd, and I actually seen him live. Like, I've followed him through the dojo and him growing. And then, Kevin Knight now, just high flying, Montez-esque, like, if you want to make a comparison. Ren Narita is kind of like he's kind of vanilla, so like Clark Connors is really cool. Because I really like Carl Fredericks. Now I forget what his name is in WWE, but I think he did like a indigenous character. I don't remember what they
Eddie Thorpe. Unless you're saying, is he in there? Is he in NXT right now?
Yeah,
I've been listening to y'all the whole time. I'm familiar.
Yeah, I think he is Eddie Thorpe in NXT now.
Eddie Thorpe.
I'm familiar. I'm listening to y'all the whole time. I was playing. I was on Sad Ass 2K, and I was listening to y'all the whole time. And I'm familiar with a good amount of the names, man, because I ain't watched New Japan in so long. But now I got to give up. Daily Motion. We need to be, let's go. I'm gonna need some of these New Japan joints back because I used to watch a lot of wrestling outside of WWE. Now, I guess everybody just kind of making their way to the AEW, TNA branch and whatever. And New Japan was definitely number 2 in the world for some time, man. And I guess we got to see how they're gonna get back to that point.
It's the American money. Hard to really once you make a name for yourself, but at the same time, it's a great stomping ground to really hone.
It is absolutely, and a lot of people made their way. You wouldn't believe it, but Hulk Hogan was over there at one point.
You better believe it, brother.
Yep. Hulk Hogan was over there at one point. He's
talentless, so anyone can do it.
He has very. Brock
Lesnar no was a crazy time.
Brock Lesnar, but the era that I guess a lot of us. Probably, I say if I had to speak, a lot of us will remember the AJ Styles era in New Japan.
Oh yeah, that's the New Japan I will always be fond of.
Yeah,
I watch more. I think I watch more of like I did watch a little bit of AJ Styles, but I watched it more after they kicked him out of Bullet Club. So it was like it was like I watched the Kenny Omega era.
Kenny Omega. Oh wow,
that's when I first got into.
How can I forget about Kenny Omega? Oh man.
I watched more the Kenny Omega era, and then that freaking God that trilogy with Okada is just
more matches.
Chef's kiss.
Absolutely.
Kenny Omega.
Shout out to Kenny Omega, man.
Shout out to Kenny Omega.
Get well soon, man. Yeah. This man is so tough. The amount of injuries he had during his title run, and like I remember, he had a match with. I saw an interview where, because he was doing this when he did the Belt Collector, and he was on TNA, and he was like, they said it took him like 2 hours, like just stretching out, trying to do plyometrics, just enough just to get his body to get to the match, and he gave them like a really great match, and Kenny was just like, man, I'm smooth, I'm so sorry, like I'm really banged up, like. I wish I could have did more. It's like, what? Everyone's like, what do you mean? Like, you just tore the house down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because he knows, like, his standards and his athletic ability is just so top notch. But it's just like, again, it's like one of those things where when you're going so hard at that rate and that style for so long, your body, it's just going to catch up after time. But it's the fact that he's still able to, hernia, shoulder, knee, like all that, and glad he's taking a much needed rest now, and then he had the diverticulitis.
Diverticulitis.
Yeah.
Diverticulitis.
Diverticulitis. I know a few people that had that actually.
Brock Lesnar was the most famous one. The other famous one to have it.
Yeah. Brock Lesnar did have that, but I mean Brock. The way Brock come back from injuries is different. I ain't even gonna. Well, it's hard to put an injury on Brock.
The way Brock comes back from injuries is real different for sure. Real different.
But Brock, that almost took out Brock though, and it's a serious illness. Like we saw when people were kind of nervous, like it's like what's going on with Kenny? Like when he was on air and he like was slurring his words and like he was just trying to push through. It's just a stomach ache or whatever. It's just normal pain, but like. And that's kind of the dangerous thing about wrestlers. Like, they're so used to being in pain sometimes we realize, oh no, like this is like legit. Like this is something different than the regular pain I'm feeling throughout my body. So
yeah, for sure. All right. I want to move away from New Japan We've talked about AEW. I wanted to talk about our Raw and our SmackDown of these past 2 weeks and what's been going on over there. We got the crown jewel build, that everything that seems to be popping off with, Nia Jax, Liv Morgan, Gunther, Cody Rhodes. They seem to be building something with Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso. And we saw that recently on the last show when they met up together in the locker room, I believe. Yeah, it was in the locker room. And it seems as if Jimmy's trying to recruit Jay over there to go on head on SmackDown and go face that new bloodline with them. So how are y'all feeling about Jimmy's return and everything that's going on around that right now?
Listen, I said it before in this episode, and I say it again. Jimmy brought Rome back down to reality on SmackDown, and then he kind of spoke it into existence on that same episode. But of course, Rome vetoed it. He simply said no yeet. And Jay is kind of returning the sentiment and saying, "Man, yo, I said no." And Jimmy coming back at this time is gonna probably prolong like a real decent storyline between Rome's bloodline and Solo Sikoa's bloodline. It's gonna be some bloodline rules matches. It's gonna be some stuff. It'll probably throw The Rock in there with this whole thing. Maybe The Rock is the one playing the puppet master behind the scenes with Solo Sikoa and doing a whole bunch of stuff and whatever. And when meanwhile The Rock was in that ring and got chokeslammed the night that he lost the title to Cody Rhodes. So it's an interesting storyline because it definitely makes Roman Reigns look vulnerable, and it definitely makes that version of the bloodline look vulnerable. But listen, I'm gonna stick to the script because that's what Solo Sikoa is doing. So I don't know how many times I gotta say it, man. Yo, he's sticking. He picked up the ball. He picked up the ball, man. And he kept moving with it. He kept it moving, kept it rolling along. I'm hearing it's supposed to be another couple of members to join the bloodline, to join his bloodline. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it is what it is, man. I think Solo. This could. I don't know how, but this could possibly catapult Solo into some more mainstay matches. Into some mainstay things, you know what I'm saying? Because a great heel, great leader, a great heel leader of a heel faction. Obviously, obviously we know what Roman had bought in them 4 years, man, and I think Roman, script wise, is there to bring people levels up and level a lot of people up. Sami Zayn. Jay, Jimmy, what they tag team run, and now Solo gotta get something out of this. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't keep picking up the ball, and I'm moving the ball how far I can move it, man. Because this dude, he was on TV for 4 years. He carried the title for 4 years. Okay, I got to carry the bloodline at least for a year. At least for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if Solo don't have no championship in his future, then I think his championship is the bloodline. To me, I mean, call me crazy, man, but I mean, it is what it is. But it's good to see a lot of these stories play out on both shows now, because it kind of remind me of the old days where I had to watch Monday Night Raw, sneaking somebody's house, so go to somebody's house, watch some Monday Night Raw, and then go back, watch Thursday night on SmackDown on Channel 9 and everything, man. And we used to get crazy matches, 5-star matches like crazy on those. We used to get crazy main events on Channel 9 and then go back to Monday. And then, it kind of reminds me of that a little bit with the way they working their way into this pay-per-view. Tiffany Stratton, hey, yo.
Tiffy.
She listen. This young lady, she got to get this belt, man, sometime soon, man. At least I don't care if it's for a week or for a night, whatever, for a couple of hours. She's gonna have to cash in. She's gonna have to get this belt sometime soon. I knew she had the it factor right then. Her character might be a little bit play for the writers to really take seriously as a mainstay champion. But when she gets that title, and as good as a run that Nia Jax's having right now, I respect the comeback and everything. As good as the matches she's having, but when she gets that title from whoever it is that she's gonna get that title from, and it's probably most likely gonna be Nia. We are going to be officially on Tiffy time.
Yes, sir.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, man. And as far as Gunther goes, and Cody, man, I don't even know what to think about that right there, man. Listen, I see Braun Breaker kind of making his way into that title gap, into one of them title picture type of things, to be a competitor, at least for the moment, sometime soon. If not for Cody, then definitely for Gunther. You know what I'm saying? Because I think him and Gunther is going to be tied together for some time if that does happen, and I think they could have some great matches, and I think they could have some very, very fun physical matches, man. Real stuff going on. So I would love to see how that's going to play out as well. You know what I'm saying? And Gunther right now is one of the best, if not the best wrestler right now. So I mean, who knows, man? Like, it's a lot of different stuff to take in effect, man. Elijah, you did talk about the tag team, the women's tag team picture. It's looking a lot better than the men's tag team picture. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it is. I mean, I don't know how Bianca and whatchamacallit is going to come up off the titles, but it's going to have to lead to something where they got a program together, and they have their one-on-ones, they 1v1 matches and whatever. And so it's going to have to go into something of that nature. So who knows, man? But SmackDown and Raw kind of remind me of late 99, 2000 SmackDown and Raw right now, bro. Kind of remind me of that era. You know what I'm saying? At least for right now, man. It's kind of remind me of building up to some. It's not how it was when building up to the SummerSlams when it was brand versus brand, but it definitely remind me of that late 99, early 2000 version of SmackDown when SmackDown had first came on Channel 9 and shit, and then you had to go figure out how you was gonna watch Monday Night Raw and shit and everything. So yeah, man, this is solid. This is solid peak on WWE right here, man. Solid.
I want to say this about Raw and SmackDown specifically. CJ, you were right.
What?
You were right.
Wait a minute. What was I right about?
Raquel has been booked so orally in the past 3 SmackDowns. I was expecting them to like at least give her something. She's been getting her ass whooped back to back. She don't talk. She's not funny.
CJ you did call that. You did call that. You called that right down the line. You called it from the time from the return and all the way till now, man. Like that was I think CJ wrote the damn script. I ain't him stuff, bro.
I don't know who's booking Raquel Rodriguez right now, but they need to be actually fired like immediately. How are you gonna have her just get attacked? She's the muscle. She's running away consistently. That's her whole. We've had her for 3 different shows now. We had her for the Monday right after Bad Blood. We had her for Friday Night SmackDown, and then the Monday just now. And every single show, she either got put on her back or she ran away. How do you do that? How do you book that for a returning character that's supposed to be the muscle? Holy. No, I'm so no. At this point, I'm just convinced whoever's writing the Judgment Day sucks because they suck with Finn. They do horrible with Carlito. He's nothing. JD has been a nothing since he joined the group.
That Carlito, did you peep that Carlito? Like,
I don't give a fuck.
They might be trying to put a little baby Rhea and Dom. Like they might be trying to do Carlito and Raquel.
Carlito is like. No, I don't need that. I don't need that in my life.
Oh, cool. I'm kind of here for it because Carlito's just a kid. Like, look, he's just comedic relief right now. Let's just keep it up. That's what he is. He's collecting this check and wait for him to get the next big pop when they go to Puerto Rico again. and he's chilling.
Listen, Raquel, even her outfits are auraless. Everything she's doing right now is auraless.
I hate
and
her
I
facial expression.
I hate it. She doesn't know what maybe she's just a bad character. Maybe I've seen when she was in NXT, she did so good with this character specifically to the point where I was surprised that she was so bad at it. It didn't make sense to me that you could be this bad at a character you've done before. I'm like, okay, I guess. I did at this point just break up the judge. I don't want to see them on my TV screen anymore. I don't think it's benefiting. Name who it's benefiting at this point. Who?
Not right now, yeah. I think, like when obviously your two biggest stars in your faction left, I think that just obviously hurt the Judgment Day. I mean, Rhea and
Damien.
Yeah, thank you. I was about to call him in bisexual Undertaker for a second. But they really carried the aura of this. I mean, we all have to first thank Edge for starting this all, the genesis of the Judgment Day, which sounds even weird to say how like far removed we got from that.
Yeah.
But you're right, because like it is like we're kind of running in a circle with this right now, and it's nothing new or fresh. And it's like we need this to be either like I don't even know, like a breakup or just something new. But like I need Judgment Day against like another faction or something. You know, I need them just to get out of this.
I'm so upset because when this like the new Judgment Day formed, it was benefiting Dom. Dom turned heel twice. That was amazing. I had never seen someone turn heel. Yeah.
Never seen a heel turn heel.
Yeah, he turned heel. Like, okay. Liv Morgan at that time was doing some of the best work of her career, honestly. We had Finn Balor, who looked great going against Damian Priest. We were all excited for that whole storyline to play out. It was benefiting the whole group. Carlito was a fun little comedic character. JD was winning tag titles, which is about as much as we can expect from JD. So no offense to JD. He's a great wrestler, great seller, but like he's not going nowhere main event wise.
Mini Finn.
Yeah, so like, the most we can expect from him is to be a tag team champion, and that's what he was. So it was benefiting the whole group. And then they just decided to let them just get 2v5'd. For why, I'll never know. Why would you let your faction just get 2v5'd when you could just bring in any bait? They had Jey Uso back there they could have brought in. The Sami Zayn you could have brought in to help. Any fucking body in the locker room. Just have them come out there and help. Yeah. And yet you decided no, 2v5 is the best option. Anytime they go to a PLE, we're gonna make the team with 5 people lose to the team with 2 people. All right, fuck it, I guess. Now we're just sitting here in limbo. Finn's whole momentum is cooked. I saw him on TV last week, and I was like, I don't even care if he defends these fucking titles. I don't care where he goes at this point. And he's one of my favorite wrestlers. So so I know the people that didn't have him as one of their favorites could care less about Finn Balor at this point. Liv Morgan is horrible on the mic. She sounds like she's slurring. Like every other word. It's just long and drawn out.
Jersey. That's
and sounds like this. And I don't want to hear it anymore on my TV, honestly. Dominic Mysterio at this point could go be a singles wrestler and he'd get just as much heat as if he was in a group. I don't care. JD, who cares? Carlito. Did Carlito ever even like really have a ending to that LWO storyline?
Not really.
No. So we didn't even go anywhere with that. This whole group has been wasted. Whoever is writing the Judgment Day needs to be fired. And I don't say that people need to be fired often. You suck at your job. Respectfully. You suck. You had the easiest little it was a lob, bro. All you had to do was finish it.
I think they got promoted to the Bloodline. They got promoted. The people who were helped write in Judgment Day when it was cooking, it's like, all right, cool. You guys did such a good job. Hey, we're going to promote you to the Bloodline story as we start to develop that. And it's like, all right.
There is no world where Tama Tonga should have more fucking aura than Finn Balor. And that's the world I live in right now. And it's so disgusting.
It's very disgusting.
It's disgusting. Tonga Loa is getting more clicks than fucking most of the people in Judgment Day right now, man. Oh my God.
Tonga Loa can't even hold the belt over his head straight.
Can't even hold he looked like he was about to fall off the ladder the entire time he was climbing up. No, that was the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen. Oh man,
that ladder match did cook though.
That shit was insane.
That ladder match did cook though. Ooh.
I do respect the fact they're doing a little tournament and trying to really build the tag team division. Obviously, the War Raiders are back. The original name they came into from Ring of Honor to NXT.
To no pop, by the way. So sad. That crowd sucked.
I mean, yeah, it was that. I mean, that was also a tape show, so it was kind of like.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
So kind of was rough. Also, side note, I was on Cage Match. I saw that in a dark match, they did a championship match between Cody and Dominic Mysterio. As like I don't know if that means anything. I don't know if there's a breadcrumb anywhere in there.
They've already done Cody and Dominic. It'll be better than anything they could do right now.
We'll see. Maybe he's the next one. I think honestly, if Dominic Mysterio were to be Cody Rhodes, as like whether he's a transitional champion or not, and like to end Cody's reign like within the next whenever, I'm actually here for that mega freaking heat. And that's how you would freaking launch.
That's how you bury Cody Rhodes. That's how you bury Cody Rhodes.
You wouldn't be burying him, but like I think it could, like especially if he wants like time off, like it would be like down the run once like okay like he's had his feuds with Kevin and with Randy and then back with Roman
and then The Rock and then Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, he's been beat up and then maybe he gets jumped by the Judgment Day. And then he catches. I mean, it wouldn't be on a Raw, but it'll be like on a PLE. And
if Cody loses that title on a Raw,
now. But I'm just saying, like you could do some fucking amazing stuff like that.
Yeah, you could do some bullshit for sure.
I think that would be really fun, chaotic too. But like I would love to see. Dominic Mysterio be the next World Heavyweight Champion, or not World Heavyweight, WWE Champion.
That's fair. Yeah, have him beat Gunther. That'd be so funny.
I'm not my champion.
I want to talk about what happened yesterday because it just proved me so right. I never felt so validated in my life watching this scene. Because I have been fighting for my life on Twitter because every time I watch a show, I go on Twitter, I'm toxic. But like every single time I was hopping on Twitter, right, watching these shows, I would come on there and they'd be like, Cody Rhodes sucks. His title reign sucks. He has his things are so boring. He's such a boring challenge, or he's such a boring champion. No, so he had no fucking heels. We are talking about a crown jewel buildup. Nobody's a fuck about crown jewel. We just got one of the best promos from Cody Rhodes and Gunther I have seen in so long. If this was any other pay-per-view, I would have been hyped off of week one of the build. And that was just 1 week of Gunther being a good heel against a good face in Cody Rhodes. And we don't have none of that. We had Solo fucking Sikoa. And that's what we're over here talking about. That Cody Rhodes is challenging over there on SmackDown. You put him on the show with heels, and he starts cooking. This is what the championship reign should have been the whole time. The entire time.
So you just admit that the championship reign has been trashed, but you're saying that he does have the potential. He's not trashed.
It's not his fault.
It's the run. It's been trashed.
It's not. I'm saying it's not his fault because he hadn't had heels this entire time. You can't blame Cody Rhodes because he hasn't had the competition to elevate them.
But if he really is great, don't you think he should have been able to?
That's so toxic. That's so toxic.
But I do think he has potential. Like, I think what Kevin Owens is doing right now is like, I'm fucking here for it 1,000%.
Yes. We're just now getting into the good part of Cody Rhodes' reign.
So, yeah, and which, I mean, it kind of sucked that, because we had to figure it out, find the waters, which I feel is fine. It's just a little bit of that, the early part of the show, of the movie. Like, okay, it's a little slow, but once we get to that, that midpoint where we get that real big, exciting incident where Kevin just attacks him at the bus. I was like, okay, that's cool. Because I really want heel Randy versus Cody. Because I think that is going to feed, I think that's going to be really good. And I don't know how many matches you do with that. Because I feel like it's going to be tough how long, because that Randy match could probably be, if Cody's still champion, that Randy match could probably next
Hey,
year.
I'm gonna cut out. I gotta jump on something else, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. All right.
I appreciate you coming through, man.
All right,
Oh, yeah,
Lee.
definitely. I'm gonna see y'all next time.
All right, bro.
Because there's a lot that you can do. Like, because I think with The Rock, I feel like with The Rock and Roman stuff, it's like it's either going to halt what the natural storyline we're getting between Kevin Owens and Randy, or it's like one of those two matches are going to like just be quick and not have like a proper feud. You know what I mean?
I think we get Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes, Survivor Series, and then I think we get Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes day one. Whenever they do that.
Is that confirmed this year?
Huh?
Is day one confirmed this year?
Day one is gonna just be Netflix premiere. It's just like
okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be January 4th, pretty much, instead of the 1st.
What a day that's gonna be! Holy crap!
January. And you know what? And you know what I just realized too. If everything kind of like falls into place, we're gonna get John Cena and Hiroshi Tanahashi retiring in the same week.
I forgot to say that. Which
they're gonna because right now I think John Cena's retiring New Year's Eve of next year, and then Hiroshi Tanahashi is January 4th of 26. My God, bro.
No, I think he's 26 too because he's gonna be wrestling the whole year of 2025.
He says he's retiring at the end of 2025, and then I think
he's saying the end of 25.
January 4th, 26. So it's like the same week. It's like saying
the day before. Yeah.
That's insane.
But can we get? I don't care about the politics. Tanahashi's a president of New Japan. Can we get a John Cena Tanahashi match just for shits and giggles, man? Like, I know they're not in their prime. I know it won't be good, but man, just like let it happen, please, God.
WWE has been working with Japan a lot recently.
I know they've been doing Noah because Nakamura is going back to Noah in January. Pro Wrestling Noah. So I mean, it's possible. The door is open. The forbidden door is open with WWE. But like, if I don't know, I think we need to create a movement. We need to create a movement starting here to get Tanahashi and John Cena and just spam that thing, get it going in the arenas, and really see what we can do. Because like, if we can make it happen, peer pressure Triple H to doing it, which I mean he probably won't be, but make that shit interesting.
Okay, Triple H, can you stop featuring black talent just to feature black talent now though? Like just let the internet forget. It's the internet. They'll forget. It's okay. You don't got to do that. It's okay.
There's one special attraction, bro. You could make a special attraction match on Netflix. Goat versus Goat. The Goat versus the Ace.
I like that. That.
That's what they did with what was in it? Joey Chestnut and Kobayashi. They did that, like the vegan hot dog thing.
Joey Chestnut absolutely cooked him. By the way, like it wasn't even close.
He's still in his prime, and the fact that he got banned for life from the name because he's doing vegan dogs is crazy. Like, no one's gonna watch the July 4th. Like, I mean, I guess you get more parody similar to college football, where it's like, hey, like, anybody can be anybody each week. That's what's going to be each year for, Nathan's favorite, which is probably what they were trying to do in the first place. Because I mean, I would say it's not fun because like no one came close. Like no one came close to his top.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this is boring.
Greatness like
I say this though, as far as like any crossovers and stuff like that. Man, I mean, I appreciate like WWE, like under the Triple H regime, actually like doing like, crossovers and stuff, and like doing, Pro Wrestling Noah and TNA. I feel like it would cause a real shockwave if we got a WWE New Japan crossover. I feel like if there was ever a good year to do it, 2025 would be a hell of a year to do it. So I think I wouldn't mind at all starting like a hashtag and just getting it out there and just seeing if like, hey, WWE, you should do something with New Japan. Y'all want to make some bread, like international bread? Go holler at New Japan. Oh boy, I'd be for it.
I mean, you can get that rub that they did with TNA because, like, I mean, I think New Japan, if you get them a little bit of fuel, I think they'll keep going. especially if you give them some talent that people kind of already know that's getting TV time on CW, and then vice versa, because they both have like really young talent that just needs something, and like just to kind of give like a handful of people go to the dojo, and then a handful of people come to the performance center for like excursions. I mean, you could do some really fun stuff.
Oh, I have a question. Does anyone here watch TNA? Like at any reasonable frequency?
I catch it from time to time.
I'm going to watch it.
What the fuck is a Rosemary, and why should I care about her? And they keep showing me her on NXT.
She was cool. She was cool. Like
if this was like 2016, 2017, like if this, well, I'm trying to remember the height of Decay. If this was like height of Decay Rosemary, I'd be like, yeah, bro, you need to tune in, because she was like a different breed. Like the height of Decay, oh man, she was a different breed. And then kind of like that first singles run where she kind of broke off, like when she first came back, and was like, it surprised me they went the babyface route with her. But that first like babyface run, like when she was feuding with like Sue Young and all that, that would have been the time to watch Rosemary. Now is not necessarily the best time to really care about her right now. I'm not even gonna front.
Okay, I might have to go back and watch some of her matches, because I was wondering. I was like, the crowd loves her. Am I missing something? Because she's not very good in the ring right now.
She's a legend.
Because that character is just so, that character just connects with people, because people just love her character. That character just connects. But yeah, if you go, like I said, if you go back to TNA, like the height of the Decay faction with her, Abyss, and Crazy Steve, you go back to the height of that faction, like when she won the TNA Knockouts Championship the first time, like that was peak Rosemary. That was peak Rosemary.
I'm gonna go watch
the Abyss for producing the Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah,
when you said that, that's so. Oh man, when you said that, that did not surprise me in the least bit. When you said that, I was like, bruh, of course, Abyss, like one of the kings of the hardcore match, produced the Hell in a Cell match. I was so not shocked.
So like, we could do if you want to do like a watch along of old TNAs on YouTube. I'm 1,000% here for it, because I'm telling you, man, like obviously one of the 5-star matches, Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe, and Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, I think it was
Unbreakable 2005.
I mean, TNA is just jam packed of so much, like that tape library. The fact that no one is trying to outright bought that tape library, because that tape library is probably worth at least $100 million probably right now, because it's like obviously with a lot of the current WWE stars in there, they produce so much great shit, and they will not die. Shit, you might have make me watch some TNA. I was gonna start watching.
I genuinely am just waiting for the TNA NXT merge.
Yeah,
bruh. Yeah, but that's what I was about to say with the merger. If the WWE was to purchase that tape library right now, bro, ooh.
Imagine imagine NXT with that TNA roster. Like we kind of got it now, but just imagine like Obafemi versus Moose, just like.
And because Tommy Dreamer is the new booker, TNA, so I mean, Anthem is kind of like kind of fucked, because I mean, it didn't hurt their momentum, but it definitely was like you fired the person who's really fought, and he literally he's well off. Well, I'm tripping on his name, Scott D'Amore.
Mm-hmm.
Heart and soul of really trying to revive TNA, and I mean he did some really good stuff, worked night and day, offered to buy TNA from Anthem, and they say, nah, you're out of here, fired him. And then now Tommy Dreamer is taking, I think he's pretty good.
That's you.
So it's like, I don't know, like TNA is doing good stuff. I keep hearing about, I see clips consistently. I always do, like, because I know they do Friday pay-per-views, which is cool. So, like, Friday night, whenever I'm getting home from doing stuff, I kind of always pop in and see whatever Nick Namath is doing, Josh Alexander's doing. So, like, they have talent. I hear Frankie Kazarian's tearing it up right now. Santana single star right now in TNA. So
Mhm.
you just convinced me. Damn it! All right, fine. I'm gonna go watch TNA because I mean they've always been so creative and allow stars to just try. I mean the deletion of like the broken Matt Hardy, like letting them
That
just
was
kind of
great.
do wild shit. Like they're always known for doing some hokey wild shit, but at the same time they give these people, the wrestlers, the opportunity to create in a safe place where maybe not everyone's going to see it, but like if it strikes gold, people will hear about it.
Yeah.
And so,
Bound for Glory is October 26th. So
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's their
I
big.
feel like we just had a Bound for Glory. Is this like just a every other month pay per view?
No.
no Bound for Glory is TNA's WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I could have sworn we just maybe I'm just like losing track of time.
You had Slammiversary, which is like their second biggest one, but Bound for Glory is their WrestleMania.
When I think of TNA, I think of Bound for Glory, and I could have sworn I heard it like 4 months ago was Bound for Glory, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm probably just losing time. I'm really enjoying the Santino Marella, Ariana Grey stuff. That's been fun.
electric.
Yeah, that's been so fun. I'm glad they get to share a screen together.
I am too.
I think
But
I think I'm not sure if he's still there or not.
all right, I'm gonna. If there's anything left to say, guys, go ahead and get it out now. I'm gonna drop a quick announcement about the channel, and then we're gonna end this one out for the night.
Watch wrestling, guys. Man, wrestling right now. I think obviously we had a lot to talk about. A lot happened just this weekend, but like there's a great big wrestling world outside that you can go and explore, and there's some awesome, great websites. YouTube for one, TikTok. I mean, Twitter. You can really kind of just find yourself in a rabbit hole and really learn and kind of expose yourself to. And we'll talk about this next episode, which is a great teaser for the next episode. It's the PWI, man. It's a great resource to learn about new wrestlers that you might not heard of. Expand your resources. Learn about these wrestlers. Support these wrestlers. Watch their matches. Go see them live if they're in this town near you. And then become a fan of someone new, because you might be able to see the next big star at your local indie.
Yeah, it's real. That's rare. That's good.
Yeah, the only thing I'll add this real quick as far as like crown jewel or whatever. It will not shock me at all if both of these champion of champion matches of whatnot, if they're both not just overbooked to the nines. No, I mean both of these matches are going to be so full of shenanigans. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be so crazy.
I think we're gonna get a real Nia Jax Liv Morgan, and I think Nia Jax is gonna lose, and that's why we get the cash in.
Yeah, I'm here for a cash in. I'm here for the Rock in Saudi Arabia, because you got to pay for it.
At this point, he's part of the TKO board, right? So I mean, him going to Saudi Arabia isn't that crazy.
Yeah.
We got to build up Survivor Series, man. We got to build up War Games. We know it's coming. We got to build. We know it's coming. We know Bloodline Civil War Games is coming. It's time to build.
Oh, if they name it that is fire. The Civil War Games, man.
That's cool. All right. Everybody's still watching. Appreciate everybody coming through. Did want to give an announcement that the Takedown podcast will be moving over to its own channel. Link is in the comments, of course. It's pinned at the top. For these next 2 weeks, I think this week and next week will be our last 2 streams over here on Vanity Sports. Doesn't mean that there won't be any more collabs or anything like that. Still on good terms and everything. Nothing bad happened. Just moving over to our side, to our own little platform. See what we can do. Build our own little thing over there. Hopefully a lot more content will be coming, a lot of different content. I know me personally, I'm going to be probably streaming on some days other than Tuesday, but there will also be this Tuesday podcast 4 p.m. PST, 7 p.m. EST. Make sure to check that out if you're still interested. So give that channel a subscribe, turn on those post notifications, and be ready for some for some new interesting content going in a possible new direction over there. We'd love to see everybody continue to support the show. And continue to support Vanity Sports, of course. I'll still be on here doing the Hoopsters podcast. I think Margel pulls up on here occasionally as well. So yeah, we appreciate everybody coming through tonight. We had a lot of viewers. We had a lot of fun talking points. Appreciate Leaf coming through earlier. Shouting out all the commenters today. We had Goatcast, Hoops over here, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights coming through. We appreciate you both. Just coming and supporting every single week. And we hope you continue to support us.